by Minty Capital. This guy again. Hello and welcome to another episode of Thinking Enough. I'm your host, the Nerdman, and today we are on a different channel because I got a strike from YouTube for reacting to Death Battle of all things. So I am on a different channel. I hope you do get to find me because this is going to be an exciting one. Next week I'll premiere it on my channel anyway, but it is the battle of the supervillains. And we have our esteemed guests here. Arkham Gaming, the only esteemed guest. Oh, and Jard, the only esteemed guest. And then we have, of course, some fillers. Wow. Chillmonger over there.
Yeah, I'm a villain. I come out at night. I get it.
Sure. No, I'm really excited for this one. I think I've put together a pretty good list. Now, how are you guys, by the way? How's everyone?
Doing pretty well.
Good. All right.
Good. All right. So I think I've put together a pretty good list. I do have some rules, though.
Of course you do.
I think
are
they're
you gonna not accept our offerings? Is that what we're doing?
No. I'm accepting all offerings.
Uh-huh.
But
rules are meant to be broken.
Facts.
I think I think these rules are good. Okay. So I'm just gonna get.
Whoa! How do you have 172 subscribers already? Did you just invent this channel today?
Yeah.
No, geez.
No. I didn't. I've had it for a long time. So the rules are we're judging it by how well does the villain fit the theme of the hero.
Okay.
Personal preference. You can judge it off comics, films, cartoons, media, but primarily comics and cartoons as opposed to film, right? Because obviously film villains always get hyped up that little bit more. So temper your things with the film stuff, but you can add it, okay? It's not completely ignore their film presence, but comics, cartoons were kind of more focused, or at least give that weight, right? Don't just say, oh, they were good in one film, but they're trash in the comics, so therefore, right? Mm-hmm. I do want to hear some discussions about this, but let's leave it say 4 to 5 minutes tops for any kind of discussion about this. I've done it so it's 3 villains per hero, but I also have added some female heroes as well. Female villains as well. So if there's
how many villain, total you have?
I think there's 70.
Okay.
So if there's any, if Batman has 4 or something, it's only because I added a female villain because, there needs to be female villains in here as well.
Because they suck that bad.
No, it's just because, I chose the 3 favorites. My 3 favorites are best, in my opinion, and I think they're most people's kind of best. And sometimes the female ones just felt a little bit outside of that. Lastly, and this is important, if you have no familiarity with a villain, but you want to vote for the other person, then you get 1 vote. But if there's people with familiarity with both villains and they feel that the other villain is better, then they get 2 votes. And that's just to balance out, villains that are a bit more obscure that people haven't got the familiarity with. I'm hoping that if that happens, it's not going to be a 5 against 1 or something. It will just be 1 person or 2 people who know that person, and it just gives them a little bit extra weight. Some of the villains I don't know because I had to pick the best villains from like characters that I'm not so familiar with. So some of you might be more familiar with them than me. Like for instance, Judge Dredd, just to give you an example if you are confused. So that's it. That's basically the rules. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
It sounds really
Okay.
complicated, but we'll see how it goes.
Yes, that's for sure.
Okay, good. So now I'm going to introduce you to the list. Does anyone want to shout out anything that they're doing on their channel before I introduce the list?
Every Saturday,
Well,
33 burning questions. Shillmonger.
Well, you have 70 people on this list, so it's probably gonna take like 10 hours. I have a team at 8. No, sorry, 9 with Danny, so I'll try to stay on as long as I can.
Okay, cool. All right, so we have our villains here. Should we just start it?
All right.
For the
Yeah, whenever
tournament?
you're ready.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Cool. So,
I had a question for you though before we start.
okay,
What'd you get a strike for?
for reacting to Death Battle.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck
I
those
was like-
people.
I was like, you're stealing all your fucking images from other like content.
Yeah, I was like, wait, that's what it's for?
Death battle.
Yeah,
really?
those
Yeah.
people are fucking slimy.
Well, no word of a
That's
lie.
Rooster Teeth
YouTube's
Orchard's
been
back.
acting really messed
Yeah.
up with the claims and stuff.
Yeah,
and
like
everything else.
people done reactions towards Death Battle and no one's gotten strike, so it's very weird.
It is very strange.
Yeah. Whatever. Remember when
Yeah.
Rooster Teeth was good? You know.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, I know.
Can one person bring up an extra page so that I can show images or stuff and stuff like that of villains that people might not know?
Sure.
I'll do that.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Good. So first matchup is Thanos versus Dark Phoenix. Whoa, a second Nerdman channel, yeah.
There's two of them.
What I said.
Sorry, I'm still working, but gonna listen to the stream. You always say that. You never want to come on my
Hey, Rhea, he's using your background music.
All right, so Thanos versus a Dark Phoenix. I'm gonna say I really like the Dark Phoenix saga, and I have to admit that my only knowledge of Thanos is through the movies. I haven't read the Infinity War saga, but the Dark Phoenix saga is literally one of the best stories that the X-Men ever had. It made Jean Grey really interesting for once, and you know, based on that, and also the cartoon version of it, which was really cool as well. I do like her quite a lot. I'm gonna wait because I want to see if anyone can convince me of Thanos, because I do like Thanos quite a bit apart from his power scaling. So I'm gonna pass it on this one to the next person down.
Okay, well, as iconic as Thanos is, and yeah, I do like him, but I mean, basing it off of the comics, I mean, in my opinion, it's no contest with Dark Phoenix. Sorry.
Okay, so Dark Phoenix gets one. All right. Next, you can just go like.
Okay, so what I know about Dark Phoenix and Thanos, like, I do agree that Dark Phoenix would win. Like, I read the comics from Dark Phoenix, and I know some more with Thanos other than the movies. Who would win? I feel like there's no real contest.
It's not about who would win a fight. It's about who's the best.
Yeah, I would say like who's better. Like it would be Dark Phoenix. Like
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
This is amazing. This is like a prelim round, but I feel like we're gonna find some that are like Killer Croc versus Prowler. I'm gonna go Thanos today. Thanos.
Thanos, okay.
Oh, it's definitely Thanos. I read Dark Phoenix comics growing up, and I read the Secret Wars comic, Infinity Gauntlet comics growing up, and Thanos was ruthless, man. When he got those stones, he wiped out all the Avengers and superheroes. So it's definitely Thanos.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with Dark Phoenix because yeah, Thanos is powerful, but only when he has the gauntlet. Besides that, he can just punch people. Phoenix can pretty much affect reality. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure the Phoenix is the better villain.
Well, okay, so I like the emotional story between Phoenix and Cyclops as well, which kind of plays into that storyline. This is really hard. I don't want Thanos knocked out this early. And I can't take it to the chat at the moment. I really don't want Thanos knocked out because I think Jean Grey's quite a boring character otherwise. And she only becomes slightly interesting when she becomes evil during that thing. I can't.
You don't want to bring it to chat.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to put it 3-3, and submit score. We'll come back to it later.
Yeah, when we get a new panelist.
Yeah. Because I do think Thanos was pretty fucking with the speeches was good in that movie, I don't know that his plan made all that much sense, but the way he kind of communicated that plan and everything like that was pretty cool.
According to your rules, though, shouldn't me and Chill have gotten two points if I read your rules properly?
No, because everyone's familiar with Thanos.
Okay.
Yeah. It's if you have no familiarity.
But you were the one that said you really didn't know him from the comics, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. But if I know him from the film at least.
Okay. So would it be more as somebody like Crossbones?
Yeah, exactly, or Crossbones, but I even know Crossbones from the film as well, kind of.
Okay, so you'd have to not know him from the comics, cartoon, or the film.
Yeah.
So only get 1 point. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Juggernaut versus Lex Luthor. We'll start from the bottom.
I'm gonna have to go with Lex Luthor on this one because he has that tactical intellect where he will find a way to defeat the Juggernaut. Plus, he's got all the battle suits that have gone toe to toe with Superman. I believe a few times come into defeated Superman. But my point is that he has that tactical know-how. That yes, Juggernaut has all speed and brawn, but he's more like a sledgehammer. Where I'm a big believer that the scalpel will always win.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm going with Juggernaut. I've always been a big fan of Juggernaut from the comic books. To me, Lex Luthor, yeah, a good villain, but I mean, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for me, it's Juggernaut.
Okay.
Somebody had to say I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Juggernaut's he's not a bad character, but I vote Lex Luthor. Flexi Lexi. You guys hear me?
Yeah, no, I did. I just was trying to share the video. Juggernaut. Oh, sorry, Lex Luthor, another Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I would say Lex Luthor. I like how he uses his intellect and to they'll outsmart and go against toe to toe with Superman and that kind of stuff. I think Lex Luthor, in my opinion, is the better one.
Lex Luthor. All right.
Okay, was that your vote for Lex Luthor, Nurban?
No, that was his vote.
Oh, okay, wait. Oh, I thought only 4 people went though.
What have I done? Have I given an extra one?
You got an extra vote, but
okay.
Okay, so look, Lex Luthor is probably better, but the thing is, okay, so I haven't seen read any Flash or Daredevil comics yet, and I barely read any Superman and Batman comics, and the one I have so far were not the good ones. So because of that, I haven't read enough of like Lex Luthor's stuff yet to fairly vote for him. While Juggernaut, I really like.
But you've seen the films with him, right?
Yeah, but I want to try to mostly go with comic books for this one. If I've read like none of either, then I'll go with films. But for that reason, no, I'm just gonna go with Juggernaut. But I mean, Lex Luthor probably is better.
For
Okay. I think Lex Luthor is one of the greatest villains of all time. He's been. I mean, they did a good version of him. Like, I'll be fair, they did do a good version of him in the '78 movie, but I don't think that was it was good for that film, but it wasn't a good overall representation of the potential of what Lex Luthor can be as a villain. He's literally like the devil incarnate to Superman, and I love what the challenge of when a writer can really figure out how to make this genius a challenge for Superman, because when they do it well, it's so interesting, their dynamic. So Juggernaut's cool as well, though, by the way. I really like him as a character. I love his powers. I think they're really awesome, and I like what they did with him in apart from how he was defeated, I kind of like what they did with him in Deadpool 2 as well.
Sticking the thing up his butt.
Yeah, that was a little bit silly.
Extremely silly.
Yeah,
but he was the best movie version of the Juggernaut. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He looked cool, at least. So I'm giving it to Lex Luthor, and then we've got J-Man.
Hey,
what's up?
How's it going?
Yeah, new channel, new life. You know what I'm saying?
So who is this? My eyes are garbage. Juggernaut versus Lex Luthor?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Lex Luthor wins.
The more interesting one was Dark Phoenix versus Thanos.
Oh, who won that?
It was tied, so we're waiting for the new guy to come in, which is you, J-Man.
Well, okay. I mean, that one's super easy for me.
Okay. Do I need to tell him the ruls again? Well, I'll tell him the rules.
Yeah, tell me the rules.
I'll tell you the rules. Okay, so fucking hell. So it's how well does the villain fit the theme of the hero? You can use cartoons, films, and comics, but I want you to weight more on the comics so that, like, for instance, if a character has had one good showing in a film, but in the comics they're garbage, right. You weight more to the comics and maybe the cartoons. It's also obviously your personal taste that ranks highly as well. It's 3 villains per hero, but I have added some extra to get a more female kind of representation in there.
Better get representation, buddy.
Because I'm a huge SJW.
Yes.
There was one thing. How much can they be reinvented as well? How can they stay fresh with the times? And lastly, if you haven't read or watched or have any familiarity with a villain, but you want to vote for somebody that you like, then your vote will count as one. Whereas if somebody has got familiarity with both characters and they can show that they have familiarity with both characters, then their vote will count for 2 if they vote against you.
Okay. All right. Well, for Thanos,
and you can choose to abstain if
sure.
if you don't know.
Okay. For Thanos, I've read all 3 Infinity Sagas plus the Infinity Watch stuff where he was a member of that for a while. I have a Thanos figure, but I have a Jean Grey tattoo. I have a Phoenix collection shelf. I have the first appearance of Phoenix, the first appearance of Dark Phoenix. I've read Phoenix Saga. I've seen the cartoon. I saw Dark Phoenix in the theater twice just because I'm an idiot. I've got What's-Her-Face's autograph who played in Dark Phoenix. So I'm going to say Dark Phoenix.
You mean Sophie Turner? Or?
Well, Sophie Turner would beat everybody here. She's the best, but...
Dark Phoenix. Thanos goes out in the first round. I feel like I'm gonna have to change this film rule then, because that's bad.
I think Phoenix is better.
Would it?
Wait, did you voted Thanos?
Sorry.
Would it?
No, I didn't. He said someone said Thanos and placed me to pretend that I was going to say Thanos.
Can I
Yeah,
ask something? Would it have changed anybody's mind if you had to weight the films equally?
Then by films, Thanos would have definitely taken it from Phoenix.
Yeah.
Thanos is better in the movies, but in the comics,
no. But if you weight
Phoenix
everything equally, that's what I mean. Everything equally, would that have made a difference to you?
No, like if everything is equal, I'd still say Phoenix is better. She's an Omega level mutant, and I like her better. And she's more like her storyline was awesome. Yeah. Well, I have an entire shelf of just Phoenix memorabilia. Like Phoenix is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. And without going too far into it, would it have changed anybody else's mind if you're weighting everything equally?
Well, no, mine still is Thanos. So
okay, cool. So Dark Phoenix goes through. Next, that's an upset. This is a real upset. Okay. Wow, I don't think anybody's gonna know these two. Blackfire versus Alcyon of Wonder Woman. Does anybody know these two?
I know Blackfire.
Yeah.
Alcyon Wonder Woman. I never heard of that.
I think
I know
only
her.
me and Jared know her.
I know her. She's dope. I'm voting for Alcyon.
I think only me and Jared know her.
I mean, I don't really know her, but I have seen her. Yeah, I did like her from what I've seen. But
yeah. Let's go back to this one. I want a few more people on before I go into that one. All right, so Joker versus Meg.
Oh.
In the first round.
Can we reshuffle?
That's quite a matchup.
Wow. Let's start from the bottom.
Oh, me? Am I on the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh my God! You know what? It's got to be Joker. Look, I'm a big Mega X-Men fan. My entire sleeve is X-Men related tattoos. So, but like, I love Magneto. He's just a fantastic, awesome character. If I had to be someone when I grew up, I'd love to be Magneto. But Joker is just too amazing as a villain. In general, he's like a perfect foil to Batman. He spawned his own series of films, his own series of comics. I mean, like, I can't, like, there's not really any argument I can make for Magneto, even though I think he's a great character.
Okay. Sean, since you've popped up last, you wanna go?
Sure. Yeah, Meg.
He said Meg.
Meg. He said Meg.
From Family Guy.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, back. So,
why?
Okay, so my VPN for some reason unconnected, which then made me freeze for like 30 seconds, and then it reconnected when I was like, okay, Magneto's great, and then froze. But okay, Magneto's great, despite what the fucking movies did to him. But I mean, it's Joker, 100%.
Oh, it's Joker. Wow. Okay. All right. Next.
As much as I love Magneto, honestly, I gotta go with Joker because he's the perfect antagonist to Batman. Plus, in Dark Knight's Metal, they had a Batman version of Joker.
That excited you, did it?
Yes, because he killed everyone, particularly his origin story.
Oh, speaking of origin stories, guess who doesn't have one? Joker. I'm gonna go with Magneto.
The Killing Joke.
I'm also going with Magneto. Magneto took Wolverine's adamantium out of him. You know, when they did the Professor X.
I know exactly. I had that copy.
Age of Apocalypse, and Magneto was good, and he was the only one that could touch and stop Rogue's powers. You know, that was wicked. So I think Joker's great, but I like Magneto.
I thought that was a little bit OP. Did he do that?
Yeah.
in that comic? That's
Yeah.
OP as shit. He shouldn't be able to stop Rogue's powers. Why?
He didn't
Why
stop
Why would he
them.
be able to stop
He didn't
Rogue's
stop.
power?
No. He didn't stop them, but he was able to manipulate her cells so that he could touch her.
Oh,
Okay, that is the most comic book thing I have ever heard.
yeah, that's ridiculous. That's like a villain Deus Machina, but anyway.
That's
And
Morbius
elec-
level.
Electromagnetic force field that's a thin layer between his skin and her skin, so he could like touch her that way, but he's not actually touching her.
Oh,
Was that
right.
it?
Okay, so
Okay.
it does explain it. Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
yeah, it's explained for sure.
Yeah, it's a Marvel comic, remember?
No, I thought it was just some comic book bullshit that was.
The world outside your window.
No, it was explained in the comic.
Yeah, because that actually does make a little bit of scientific sense in a way, at least mildly. All right, so what was that? Who was that? So it was one more to Magneto, or was it two? How many have gone for Magneto?
Two for
Me and
Magneto,
two.
3 for Joker, and
Okay,
Arkham.
good.
Oh, I told you, Joker.
Shocker.
His name's Arkham. Yeah, it's gonna be Joker. I feel like giving Magneto a point just because it doesn't matter anyway, and I just think he's an awesome villain. And he does kind of, I don't think his powers necessarily, like he's got magnetic powers, Professor X has like psychic powers. It's not like that necessarily fits together. But their relationship of that kind of Martin Luther King versus Malcolm X is really, really interesting. And I do think it can be kind of updated and reinterpreted for modern times. I wish they didn't feel like Magneto had to be stuck with the World War II origin. I think you can kind of update it to other genocides. And it would be kind of a cool way to contemporize his story. But yeah, Joker's still fucking. I mean, I've just enjoyed too many interpretations of the Joker to go with Magneto. Whereas there's just one Magneto that I've seen for the most part.
Hey, chill. You see what's going on here, right? All the DC guys are gonna
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
No, that's not
You
true.
just
I
told
made
me-
Dark Phoenix win.
Yeah.
It's all about shaping
Yeah,
the
but Dark
hero.
Phoenix was going up against Thanos.
Oh, okay, yes, you're right.
See, he's the yin to his yang.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna go ahead and say, well, the criteria is if the villain makes the hero, and then you go and give me Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and give me every reason why it should be Magneto, and then you go ahead and vote for the Joker. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, because the Joker does the same with Batman. I mean,
Batman has
like,
many villains.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, the way he kind of interacts with Batman, it is kind of a yin and yang situation.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
he's
Batman
like,
is Batman because of his parents dying.
But Professor X
he's-
isn't Professor X because of Magneto's doing.
It is. It's like
They
his
have different
ideology.
right? So they have
They have
different,
different ideology. So does Batman and Joker.
Batman
Professor X
Joker.
didn't take the opposite ideology to foil Magneto.
No, Magneto happens to have the opposite ideology.
Whereas Joker is taking it opposite of Batman to create chaos and all that.
Yeah, like Joker's unpredictable. He's just yin and yang towards Batman. Without Batman, there is no Joker.
And also, the thing that's cool about Joker is like Batman is this he's this anti-hero who really like he depends on scaring the shit out of these criminals, and at first he's rather successful until he meets this complete wild card who just sees him as hilarious and wants to have as much fun with him as possible. So it's like there is that kind of thing where like Batman just can't do anything to this guy to make him back down, and the only thing he could do is break his one rule. So that's the kind of interesting dynamic between them.
Magneto's
defeat
been a
him.
hero a bunch of times, and he's currently not a villain anyway. For the last few years, at least, hasn't been a villain.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so we've got Super Skrull versus Homelander, and this is one of the first ones where I'm going to have to say I want to vote for Homelander, but I have no knowledge of Super Skrull from the comics.
Well, he's the
And
Fantastic Four. He's all the four powers, so it's
yeah, sure. And I haven't read him. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him in cartoons. So I'm gonna vote for Homelander because I think Homelander's a pretty fun character. I don't usually like the dark Superman kind of thing. I think it's been done to death. But I actually think the Boys is quite funny with it, and the comic is hilarious. I don't think they could have actually made the comic in live action because it's actually too fucked up.
No, you're not making
It's
that.
way worse.
it's
way worse. But they did a great job adapting it, actually. So I kind of appreciated the cleverness with which they adapted it and still kept to the spirit of it while avoiding some of the worst aspects.
I like the show better. I couldn't read the comic; it's just too nasty. I'm like, but the show's better for me. It's not as nasty.
But Garth Ennis is my boy. I just think he's hilarious.
He's great. He's good.
So next, Arkham.
Having now, I actually know who Super Skrull is and know who Homelander is. Knowing both of them, I would say Homelander.
Knowing both of them, you'd say Homelander. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next.
Chill.
I've read a little bit of Super Skrull when he was facing Spider-Man, Captain Marvel. He's not that interesting to me. I haven't watched the Homelander show, but knowing everything he is and hearing stories, Homelander.
Really? Just from hearing stories? You've
And
never
Super-
watched The Boys?
No, Super Skrull's whack.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Killmonger on this one too. I'm gonna have to go with Homelander. Was never a big fan of the Skrulls, and the Super Skrull was all right, but you know, from what I know from Homelander, he's a beast. So I'm going with Homelander.
Have you seen The Boys, though?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. All right. Next.
I'm going with Homelander because he's a badass. He's the perfect antagonist, the mirror of Superman, except Superman with absolutely no morals whatsoever. And I can't take the Super Skrull seriously.
Mhm.
I think Homelander in The Boys is what they're trying to do with Peacemaker, but I just think they fail spectacularly.
They definitely
Peacemaker.
failed. If that's their objective, they did not. They missed that by 10 miles.
Yeah. So, just an opinion. But anyway, next, J-Mo.
Well, I do like Super Skrull, but I feel that he's one of those characters where they're like, how can we fight the Fantastic Four? Oh, what if one person has all their powers? And then that's sort of the end of it. Where I don't feel that Super Skrull was very well developed. He's a good visual character and a good kind of brawler to fight the Fantastic Four. But the more compelling character is Homelander. I like this idea that, you know, what if Superman didn't have a good upbringing and didn't have decent parents and wasn't really taught morals? He would be this kind of, you know, crazy
Psychopath.
asshole person, right? So I think Homelander's a better character and more interesting to me. But I like Super Skrull. Like, I mean, you know, he's pretty cool, but he's just more visually cool and as a fighter, not so much as a character that I would want to read about versus Homelander. I do think he's more interesting. I've read some of the comics. I've seen all The Boys. I've read stuff with Super Skrull, so I'm pretty confident in Homelander's.
Okay. Okay. Next, Cole.
Yeah.
Sure. I always read
I mean, you can say either one, but yeah, it's Homelander. That's
Okay,
all.
good.
I haven't really read much of
Believe-
either, but yeah, I've seen The Boys, and yeah, I wanted more darker with him, but I mean, from what I've seen, yeah, he's great. Yeah, so him.
Okay. So it's clean sweep for Homelander. All right. First one. Good. Abomination versus Jigsaw.
That's a good pick.
Go from the bottom. From the bottom, which is you, Sean.
Sean.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking up something
Oh,
quickly.
you were just looking at it.
Because I'm just remembering one of their looks again on Google Images. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay. I mean, I guess more people probably know Abomination, unless I'm wrong. Yeah, I'll go with Jigsaw though.
You'll go with Jigsaw. All right. Next up.
I'm gonna say Jigsaw. Abomination is awesome, and I've got like a big figure of him, and Hulk's in my top 10 favorite characters. But many Hulk villains, not counting the leader, but a lot of these side villains are just different versions of Hulk, and I felt that Abomination wasn't interesting enough to really read more about him. Like if he had his solo comic, would I read that? Maybe, maybe not. Jigsaw, I think you could do more with that character because he's a human and he's not just like a monster. You could do stuff with that character. So I guess Jigsaw is better.
Next up.
I'm gonna go with Jigsaw because I found
Is it
Abomination.
three?
to be-
It's
What?
two. No, it's two. It's two.
Yeah. I'm going with Jigsaw because I found Abomination to be just too boring of a villain because I'm not a big fan when the antagonist is just an evil version of the hero. I find that's a little cheap.
But Jigsaw's kind of just a mirror version of the Punisher, to be fair.
Yeah, but he's the Punisher that does that like loses his memory. I'm just going off of the Punisher show because I have no idea about him in the comics.
Yeah.
But they add a little bit more to differentiate him compared to Abomination. Abomination is just a different skin on the Hulk.
Yeah, you're right. All right, next up.
I really know more about Abomination than I do about Jigsaw, but and I have to go with Jigsaw on this one. I didn't think Abomination is such a great villain, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna go with Jigsaw.
Doesn't matter, but I would go with the Abomination. I like seeing them two fight.
I like it too.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to, basically echo what everybody else said. Like, I really can't stand those villains where they're just a mirror image of the hero, but like a little bit stronger or a little bit more evil or a little bit. It's just, it does nothing for me. And I'm a huge Hulk fan, but I just think his rogues gallery up until maybe Planet Hulk just wasn't very good. So yeah, I saw the show with Jigsaw, and I'm not a big fan of him either. I wasn't a big fan of the performance, and that's all I know about Jigsaw. But even still, even if we're just talking about in media, Jigsaw was more interesting than the Abomination from the MCU. I didn't find him particularly compelling at all. And I did read some Abomination when I was younger, but I can't remember it. So I'm going to go Jigsaw, the Punisher. Come on. All right, good. Riddler versus Apocalypse.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
Now, look, the Riddler is probably my favorite Batman villain. As much as I love the Joker, I actually find, that when you're talking about the detective aspect of Batman, where he's supposed to be a Sherlock Holmes kind of figure, I find the Riddler to be his Moriarty. And I love the concept of just this guy who does, who's compelled to do these kind of riddles, even though he's like the perfect criminal, he does the perfect crime, but he has to do these riddles because he's kind of got this kind of OCD about it. And yeah, like the way you can take that is in so many different directions. You can do it super campy, you can do it a lot darker, you can do something in the middle, you can, like, there's so many different ways you can take that aspect of the character. Apocalypse is one of my favorite X-Men villain though, as well. I think he's fucking awesome. I wish he was in the movies sooner, and I wish when he was finally in the movies they did a better job with him. I just think he's such a cool concept for a character with his 4 horsemen and stuff like that. This is a really, really tough choice, but I've got to go with the Riddler because there's a few more No, there's a few more good versions of him that I've seen in media. Plus, I like him in the comics. I like Earth 1 Volume 2 a lot. Apocalypse, I've read some really good stories of. He was fantastic in the cartoon, but I still think the Riddler was ultimately better in both media and the comics. Well, in media more than the comics, to be fair. Superboy's here. All right, cool. So next,
I would say Riddler because he's like, to me, he's far more interesting. I know about Apocalypse also, like, he's also interesting, but I feel like the Riddler, they take the character in a far interesting way, and I would say the Riddler over Apocalypse.
okay. Next,
I'm going with Ansaba Noor Apocalypse Survival of the Fittest.
it's a good shout, man. It's a good shout. I'm not gonna lie.
I am definitely going with Apocalypse as well. I think Apocalypse is a better villain than the Riddler. Apocalypse is one of my favorites, to be honest with you. So,
And he's got dope comics, man. He really
Yeah.
does. Next,
I'm going with the Riddler. Refer to my previous examples of how the smart hero or villain always wins.
yeah, Apocalypse is pretty smart though.
But the
yeah,
Riddler,
alright.
and the Riddler doesn't always win.
well, if you're going by the Snyderverse example, he was going to solve the anti-life equation. So I'm like, you have to be pretty astute for that.
But that didn't happen. So,
Eh,
it didn't happen. So
it's on the storyboard.
What are we talking about here?
I wrote a story where Apocalypse destroys the entire universe. Okay, well.
Yeah. Still, he's smart enough to figure out a way. Plus, I like how he at times outsmarts Batman, the dude that pretty much, depending on how the comics are written, has a plan for everything.
Yep. Who's next?
Me? Apocalypse. Apocalypse is an Omega level mutant, knowledge of the future past. He has destroyed the X-Men so many times. He has a plan after a plan after a plan. Like, he's super smart. He's way smarter than the Riddler. I love the Riddler, and I read tons of comics with the Riddler. He's one of my favorite villains. But look, Apocalypse is like crazy. Like, he's one of the best villains. He's not a derivative of something else. It's like, I don't know. He just seems like an amazing creation, where the Riddler, just like a lot of the Batman, Spider-Man villains, started out as very simple concepts. Oh, it's a guy that tells riddles. Oh, it's a guy that tells jokes. Oh, it's a cat lady. Oh, it's a penguin guy. Oh, it's a rhino. Oh, it's a vulture. It's like, they made the Riddler better, yes, but Apocalypse didn't start out as, like, right from the beginning, Apocalypse was like formidable and awesome. It's got to be Apocalypse.
I just checked, and he's not on Hickman's Omega list.
He's not an Omega level mutant?
I mean, he
That's
was
crazy.
at one
Must
point,
be.
because everyone was an Omega, and then when Hickman came, he just
Yeah,
decided.
I read all the Hickman stuff up to the latest. I didn't realize that he took him out of there. I thought, oh god, whatever. He should be Omega level, but
He
even if
was
he's
a
not, it
mega
doesn't.
level. He was a mega level.
His
before,
definition of
definitely.
Omega was like non-stopping. Like, it was just a self-sustaining thing that could keep going. Same way Storm can weather, manipulate with no limits. When you have no
Right.
limits, you're Omega.
You're Omega, yep. Regardless, it's still Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
I mean, yeah, I like Riddler, and I'm sad that I haven't really gotten a proper adaptation of it yet. I mean, Paul Dano was alright, but it's not really Riddler, so hopefully get that. But I mean, Apocalypse is just way better, though. Sorry.
Okay. And Superboy.
I think he's having
Superboy.
issues.
Apocalypse.
Superboy not even there. Superboy.
Yeah, he's having issues, I think.
Okay. All right. We'll put Apocalypse
You
through.
know me.
Oh,
Oh, there you are. Go ahead, Superboy. Make the right choice.
Yeah,
Yeah, make the right choice.
we know you.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone there?
You know, he's like, you know me, and then
You know
quiet.
me, I know.
We do know you. You never fucking talk. Yeah.
You know, huh?
Oh, what?
Are we supposed to know you so well that we know what you're
I
going
think
to
his
say?
mic's
said
like,
apocalypse.
you know, how about you
Okay.
tell him the. Oh, did he say
said
apocalypse?
apocalypse.
Okay,
Yeah.
apocalypse goes through. Fucking upset. Another upset, bro.
No, that's not enough.
That's not upset.
It's not enough.
That is an upset. Okay. Now, I kind of cheated on this one a little bit.
Of course you did.
Okay. I put in Mama from Dread. She has become a comic character since. Okay, so she's been in the comics, but she started off as a movie character. But I like her so much that I put her in. So it's Mama versus Sinestro. Look, I fucking love Mama a lot. She's hilarious to me. I love Lena Headey's performance. I haven't read the comics of her, but I think she's a bad ass villain, and she really plays into like being a kind of cyberpunk opposite to Judge Dredd. I think she's awesome in that sense. But it's Sinestro. I mean, Sinestro is fucking cool as shit. I've always loved that character. He's one of the only mirror opposite characters that I dig, because they've done a lot with him to develop him to make him more than that. Next.
Sinestro.
Mama is your BS, inclusive. let's not kick the women out club vote. I'm going Sinestro.
No, she isn't. She's a genuinely good villain. Does everyone watch Dread?
No.
Yes.
I saw the movie. Of course I did.
I've
You didn't
seen
like
about-
Mama?
Compared
Oh,
to
sorry.
Sinestro?
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying, do you think she was a good villain?
Oh yeah, she was great.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all right.
Sinestro was a guy on the Green Lantern Corps, succumbs to fear, gets the Yellow Lantern stuff. Like, that's better.
Yeah, I have voted for him. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Lonzo,
It's me? Oh, it's Sinestro all day, every day. I wasn't a huge fan of that.
Dread movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Next.
Sinestro, because his ring is powered by fear, the one emotion everyone feels. He wiped. I still remember in Sinestro Corps War when he creates his core, and then all the rings and the Green Lanterns don't have the ability to kill, and then all of a sudden all the Green Lanterns are being wiped out.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's a
He's cool.
badass.
He is cool.
Well, I've seen Dread about 25 times. I watched it 3 times in one day once. And I love Mama. I think she's a bloody fantastic villain. But there's no chance in hell that she's better. And look, and I've read a shit ton of Judge Dredd comics going from like the first issues. I was buying the anthologies as they were coming out. But yeah, like, come on. Sinestro, he is crazy smart. He looks cool. I love the yellow. I love the fear thing. I don't know, man. He's awesome. But Mama is great. Lena Headey, man, she needs to win an award of some kind of. Like, she's a fantastic performer in everything that she's in.
She should just win. Like, they if they do a person like people
Best
who just
actress
do
ever?
best villains, no, just best villain actors. She should
Yeah.
be in like the top 10 for that. Like, she's
Oh, yeah.
just solid every time she plays a villain.
Yep.
All right, 6. I think Superboy's left, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we lost
Nope,
him.
he's gone. Lost him
We
again.
lost him. Yeah.
All right, Sean, did you vote?
Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I don't get why some of you are trashing on the other so badly. She's great, but I mean, yeah, it's Sinestro. Come on.
Yeah. No.
That was the
It
easiest.
was a bad.
vote.
It was a bad matchup. It was definitely a bad matchup. All right, I'm gonna go to Alcyon versus Blackfire. Now, the only people I think may have read Alcyon are Jard and J-Man, and I'm not even sure J-Man has. But she's from a story called Wonder Woman in the Circle, and I think the reason I put her on here is because, like, out of all the Wonder Woman villains, she has got some really good ones. but Alcyon is one who's really, really personal to her. She's an Amazon who's in love with her mother, but thinks that Wonder Woman is a curse that is going to bring down the whole of Themyscira. And so she does all this notorious stuff to the Amazons and whatever. She takes over as some kind of imprisons Hippolyta, but she will never ever harm Hippolyta. She's dedicated to her at the same time. So there's that complexity there. But she wants to use Wonder Woman's mother to lure her back into her traps and stuff. So she's really, I think she's psychologically interesting. I like the kind of untouched lesbian aspect to her.
Does she have
and
alopecia?
She's definitely, yes, and she's definitely better than Blackfire.
Share my screen.
I'll share your screen, man, since we've got
her.
Yeah, that's her.
That's okay.
Yeah. She is an awesome villain. He really is. Okay, so Arkham, do you want to vote?
I guess I'll vote for the ones that I know. I would say Blackfire and stuff like that. I know Blackfire from comic books, any media and stuff like that. Know the character. I would say Blackfire.
Okay, but Arkham, if you don't like Blackfire that much, then you could vote for the other if you find it interesting just from the images, and then give it 2 votes.
I just said Blackfire.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant if you don't know the other, you could vote for it still if you don't find Blackfire that interesting.
She was boring in the Titan show. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, she was boring in Titan's show, but in the comic book, she's more interesting, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. So you know her from the comic books, but
I know her from Titans.
Yeah, you can vote from Titans, but it gives me an extra vote.
Yeah, I know her from Titans.
Yeah, but only one extra vote because I know both of them. But Blackfire, I don't mind actually. She's not bad, but she's just not as good as Archeon. Chillmonger.
I can't vote. I know Blackfire from the show, but I don't know enough about Alcyon for this to be fair.
Okay, all right. Anzo,
I'm going with Blackfire.
You're going with Blackfire.
She was hot in the show.
She was hot, bro. She was fire.
Yeah,
I'll give her that. I will give her that. I have a real actually speaking of Lena Headey, she's my dream cast for Alcyon. But I don't know what you think of that, Jard, but
I could see her playing Alcyon, and I believe you know which way I'm gonna align. I'm going with Alcyon because that was a dope Wonder Woman story. She was a great villain, and I cannot stand Blackfire.
That gives her 4 votes.
Is that me? Yeah, Alcyon. Right? I don't like Blackfire either.
Oh, you're going Alcyon?
Yep.
Really? Have you read both?
I'm looking up because I have 1,000 Wonder Woman comics. I'm trying to see. I think this was after the Crisis, but before New 52. Is that right?
Yeah, it was.
It was in between those two. Yeah, I think I literally have up to issue 8 or 9, and I'm just looking up Alcyon's storyline takes place right after that. So I actually don't have her storyline because I never read The Circle.
Oh, okay. So you never read it, and you're just voting Alcyon anyway, just for shits and giggles.
We're Wonder Woman fans, you and I, so I'm going to trust that story was good enough to bring her.
All right. You know what? I'm going to take it down to 3 votes then, because I feel it will be unfair otherwise. And lastly.
Okay, so I've read and watched a lot of Blackfire, and yeah, there are points where I really like her, and then other points where they just completely drop the ball with her, and it's really disappointing. But people give it passes, like Anzo, because they find her hot, which not wrong, but hey, and then Alcyon, okay, yeah, I don't know anything about, but over the years I have seen some pages of and just screenshots, and she always seemed really cool, so. Yeah, I'm tempted to maybe picking her and then giving her 2 votes.
Well, if you want to pick her, you can pick her, and then we just.
Do it
fair.
If I voted for Blackfire, would it send it to the chat or? Well,
No, we can't send it to the chat.
Yeah, never mind. Film Elise is here anyway. Okay, yeah, I'll just go Alkion. Yeah, Alkion.
Alkion. Okay, cool. Film Elitist. Oh, sorry, Jaded.
What?
Jaded.
He's here.
What? No, it's Film Elitist, isn't it?
Okay, whatever.
Let me look
Alkion
at
goes
it.
through.
All
Fuck it,
right.
All right, Alkion goes through. Go.
Yeah, it took me a while.
Now we go to the interesting round. We're going to start from the bottom this time. Bullseye versus Dark Phoenix.
That's quite a matchup.
So from you, Sean.
Yeah. Let me just do one thing.
We
Quickly.
can, if you want to look it up, we can.
I'm
do it
just
from,
quickly.
We can do it from Chillmonger's screen.
Okay, no, I was just quickly checking someone. Okay, yeah, Dark
Okay.
Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. Okay. Cool. All right.
Me, Dark
yeah.
Phoenix. I love Bullseye though. I have a Daredevil shelf as well, but Dark Phoenix.
All right. Next up.
Dark Phoenix. Just gonna
Really?
say that's it, Dark Phoenix, because I find Bullseye to be a little overrated in terms of hero, in terms of supervillain, and plus, once again, refer to my arguments from my previous Dark Phoenix arguments.
Okay. All right. Onzo.
It's Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. Wow. Okay.
Another for Dark Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Dark Phoenix.
Oh jeez.
Oh my god.
Am I the only fucking Bullseye fan here? I'm voting Bullseye. man.
Dark Phoenix? Are you
No.
kidding me?
Look,
He's fine, just not better.
I mean, first of all, he is actually really fucking cool in the comics, and with like he's great against Daredevil. Like, even if it's just a power thing, it's not like more like Daredevil versus Kingpin, where it's much more of a philosophical, emotional, everything thing. But like Bullseye is cool in that sense. And
Who are you
then-
convincing right now? This is a eulogy.
No, I
Bullseye
know.
was a great hero. He could have.
But he's not gonna win. So what's the?
True. But I was just gonna say, then there was season 3 of Daredevil, which I just thought he was fucking amazing in.
I didn't watch season 3.
Whereas Dark Phoenix, I think the story's great, but I don't know that she as a character is great.
Oh,
But-
she's really
No,
dope.
she is good.
Yeah, she's great.
okay, fair enough. Loki versus Gorilla Grodd, and I'm gonna start first. It's fucking Gorilla Grodd.
What?
my
Justice
God.
League animated show, he is awesome. In the Flash comics, he is awesome. I fucking love this character. He's so bonkers ridiculous as well. Like, just, I love Flash villains because they suit him so well, because he's kind of like goofy and ridiculous in his own way. And then you have his villains like, Captain Boomerang and Captain Cold and all of these kind of stuff. And Gorilla Grodd is just the furthest you could go with that concept of ridiculous Flash villains that just suit him so well. A psychic fucking gorilla. It's amazing. And in the animated series he was good as well. Whereas Loki, I've always thought he was he was just a punching bag for the Avengers in the Avengers movies. I haven't read him in the comics so much, but and then he just becomes like, I don't know, like some funny guy. I don't dig him.
I would say Gorilla Grodd. Like, I read some comics from Marvel with Loki. Gorilla Grodd to me is far more interesting. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
What continent is Gorilla City part of?
what?
Africa.
Loki.
Okay.
I don't know
Alright,
why you had to
something
start that
like
with the question, but okay.
Okay.
I was like, wait a second.
Loki.
Is anyone going to give any reasons here? Because Gorilla Grodd, he could be taken dark, but he could be also very silly as well. So what's your reasons here? Loki over Gorilla Grodd?
Well, Loki is the opposite of what we're complaining about, how Bullseye is just like Hawkeye. Loki is from another realm, literally, and he's also the brother, so he's got the connection to Thor, too. He's the mischievous guy. He's got
Bullseye
a
is the
character.
Daredevil villain.
But you know how he shoots archery, just the same way the other guy shoots archery?
Yeah, but he's not the opposite of Hawkeye. He's the opposite of
Oh, what
Daredevil.
did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, what am I talking about?
Sorry, that's why I was confused. Sorry, but go on.
Yeah. No, you should be confused. I said something stupid. My bad. And I choose Loki. It was better when I didn't explain.
It's still Loki, regardless.
All right, go. Next. Who's next? Next after Anza, because I'm looking at the other screen. Jared.
All right, I'm going Gorilla Grodd because it's a mind controlling gorilla, and plus he again tactically minded villain, and Loki is just really meh. He's only famous because of the MCU, and Gorilla Grodd didn't need a movie world to make himself cool.
I'm gonna say Loki. Loki's intelligent, mischievous, crazy. He does spells. He could do anything. He's great in mythology. He's great in the comics. Acts of Vengeance. I believe he was the creator of Acts of Vengeance. That's one of the best crossover events ever. He's manipulative. He could be funny. People like him. There's a lot of facets to that character where people can like this villain who's literally killed people, but somehow he gets away with being charming too. Gorilla Grodd is a wicked character and an interesting concept, but I can't see past the Planet of the Apes aspect of it, where it's just a Planet of the Apes character with the mind powers. Whereas Loki is timeless, man. He is I don't know. He's a timeless character. I know it's a bit of a cheat because he's
but that's from Norse mythology.
But it doesn't matter.
It's not the same thing. He's
It
a
is the
timeless
same character. They're using.
No,
that
we're talking
character.
about the character in the Marvel.
Yeah,
comics.
exactly. I was about to say.
But that is the character.
But how has he been
that's a
portrayed in the
completely-
comics?
Yeah,
I'm telling you how he's portrayed in the comics. I gave you Acts of Vengeance. He's smart. He's charming. He's a planner. He's a schemer. He's a liar. He's a cheat.
So is Gorilla Grodd, but he's a gorilla who's psychic as well.
Didn't he
and
battle?
he's dark as well. Gorilla
No
Grodd's
way.
one of his most evil villains. It's not like he's a monster. Or a beast
Loki
when it comes down
has
to it.
more facets to his character. He could be anything. He could impersonate people. I don't know. Loki's is one of the best villains ever.
Didn't he also lead? Didn't Gorilla Grodd lead a coup against Lex Luthor and take over the Legion of Doom? If he beat Lex Luthor's intelligence, I'm this gorilla.
Yeah, but Loki will just snap his fingers and turn him into a frog. So whatever. It's okay.
Sure. All right. Last, Sean.
I'm so glad I get the vote to send this fucking ape out of this tournament.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are you talking about Loki then? Okay, cool. Gorilla Grodd goes through.
That's
No, no,
apis.
no.
That's apis.
Let me explain. All right. Because Loki is such an iconic character. All right. And is just an interesting concept. By ape, though, I actually did mean Loki. So Gorilla Grodd is great.
Are you serious? Or are you trolling?
Yes.
Yes.
The worst. I was about to say, hey, all the Canadians came through, and then you had to go and do that.
I hate you, Sean.
I know where I'm going on this one.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is easy.
Darkseid
way
versus
easy.
Mephisto. Are you serious,
so
Sean? Are you really serious? Because
Yes.
I don't
Gorilla
know.
Grodd's great.
And I don't
Loki,
wanna just put
again, he's
Gorilla Grodd
iconic,
through.
and I like the concept. But when I read the stories, I was honestly disappointed.
Okay.
To quote Superman, not impressed.
Okay.
But yeah,
I
this
think
is-
it's the right answer when you actually,
Mhm.
take the time
Yeah.
to look into Gorilla.
All right,
Grodd.
so are we going
It's
down
pretty
from up on this one?
cool. Yeah, Darkseid, Mephisto. I'll go from the top. It's Darkseid.
Yes.
He's fucking awesome. Omega Beams, fucking Apocalypse, just devastating the Justice League all the time. He's just cool as shit. Although I have no knowledge of Mephisto, Ghost Rider. So if somebody does and they like him more, that will be weighted as 2 points. So I just don't know Mephisto that well. So I'll go Darkseid 1.
I would say Dark side, I would say dark side. Like, I don't know that much about Mephisto, but like, seeing a dark, I think like dark side humiliating and going against Justice League, like destroying Superman every time he gets a chance. It's like, of course, dark side.
Okay.
Let's go dark side.
I wanted Darkseid versus Thanos.
That would have been so much better.
That kind of would.
All right, go.
So why to have you guys pick Darkseid over Thanos? Fuck this shit. I'm going Mephisto.
Have you read?
Marvel
Have you
fanboy.
read Mephisto?
Yeah, I used to read Ghost Rider comics.
Yeah, and you genuinely think he's better?
Yep.
Any reasons or?
Yeah, Darkseid's just a cheap knockoff Thanos.
I'll get it.
Wait a second, he was made before.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah,
Thanos
it's
was,
the
but
other way
Thanos was,
around.
but Thanos was done better.
No, yeah.
Are you see? You're just upset because Loki didn't go through. Now
No,
I'm going to
I'm
give you
good.
two. I'm going to
Yeah,
give you two because that's the rules. But you can't do that if you genuinely.
No, I do. Generally, I'm not a big fan of Darkseid. Never was.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Fair enough.
I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong.
My
All right,
opinions
so
can never
here's
be
why
wrong.
Darkseid destroys everyone on this board, because you cannot kill Darkseid. Whenever you take out his body, it just takes out that avatar. In fact,
boring.
Two-Form Darkseid cannot be killed. He has killed and defeated Superman and actually mind-controlled Superman multiple times, both in any medium. I'm going with Darkseid. Mephisto is just Satan. That's it. Darkseid can destroy Satan.
Yeah, the dark side sounds really boring.
Yeah, I was going to say he just sounds undefeatable. So what was that? 4 for Darkseid?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
I know both characters. I do like Mephisto a lot, but Darkseid. I mean, this is like
Thank you.
this is like a super no-brainer. I like Darkseid's one of the best villains ever. Jack Kirby is the king, so I don't know.
Final Crisis.
All right.
Like,
Couldn't care less.
Yeah, I mean,
come on, so you just.
I agree with Fonzo, so I'm going Ghost Rider. I've always been a huge fan of Ghost Rider, but I mean, it doesn't matter anyway.
I mean, I love Ghost Rider, like as a character, as a concept. But
I mean,
like,
you give it 4.
but the films, like literally put me off, like
I
actually researching him properly. Because I was like, oh, this guy's cool. He's got like he turns into a ghost who rides a bike and like.
Why? The films are
fire and
guilty
fire
pleasures.
and-
They're
No, they are.
purposely-
Honestly, they are. But the problem I had with the films is he just seems undefeatable. There's nothing you could do against him. I mean, at least they show that though, which I'll give them credit for, because they don't like go back on it like Thanos when he's got like a reality stone and could do anything, but for some reason he's still fighting nobodies. With Ghost Rider, they're just like, look, he's you can't defeat him. They just go with it in those movies. It's kind of boring, but a guilty pleasure. You're right. Film elitist.
What's up, everybody?
hello.
Yeah.
Hello there.
All right, let him vote on the dark side one.
Should I let him go on the dark side? Okay.
Oh, it's Darkseid. I'm not gonna troll you.
Okay, never mind.
There you go.
All
God
right.
damn it. Film Elise, you have failed me.
All right. Crossbones versus
Oh,
Galactus.
jeez.
Oh my
You
god!
can start.
This is
Film
another
elitist.
no-brainer. Jeez.
You can
Yeah,
start Film
I'm
elitist.
gonna go out on a limb here and say Galactus.
Oh, jeez. Sometimes I doubt how this randomly assigns things. I'm like, whoa.
Next. I want
Yeah,
Galactus to go through, actually.
Yeah, man, this is really tough.
Don't even troll that you edgelord. You might even say crossbones.
Yeah, I'm gonna just flip a coin. 1 second.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, heads for which one?
Heads for
Galactus.
Galactus because his head's bigger than.
Okay.
Is Crossbones the one from the Civil War, right? In the beginning.
Yeah,
Krullo.
who lasted all of 5 minutes.
There you go.
Yep, okay, well, flipping the coin. Oh man, it's Galactus. Wow. Who knew?
All right, next up.
So it's Frank Grillo versus a cloud. No, Galactus.
I'm going Galactus too. I don't even have to give that many examples besides the fact that Galactus eats planets and Crossbones just shoots tiny guns.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Next up.
Oh, it's Galactus.
Make that 2 for Galactus.
Galactus.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Galactus. Although I don't know either of them that well. But Galactus. So I'm admitting now I've never read it. Well, I have read a comic of Galactus, but I was very, very young. Like a Silver Surfer kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Ocean Master versus Lex Luthor.
Oh,
This
that's
is fucking spicy.
that actually might be tough.
This is spicy for me. I think they're both really good foils to their heroes. But I think Superman's the cooler hero. That's all I could say. And Lex Luthor, therefore, is the cooler kind of villain because he's just got more iconic stories with Superman, I guess. But I've heard the new 52 Ocean Master
Yeah,
comics
and the
is
new
awesome,
52 Ocean Master is
and I
amazing.
loved him in the movie, and he was the best part of that movie. And I also really liked him in the animated film. He was fantastic in that Throne of Atlantis film. But Lex Luthor, yeah, I'm gonna go Lex Luthor. Next.
As much as I like Lex Luthor, I have to say Ocean Master. I just like I love Ocean Master. I love the comics and everything like that. I just think he's a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tight, but because the name Ocean Master is just better than what Lex has got, Lex just uses his real government name. Bleh.
I know.
Yeah.
That's not intimidating at all.
I think I'm gonna go with Ocean Master.
Do you actually like him better, or from
Yeah, I
the
like
movie
him
and
better.
stuff?
From the
Because
movie.
I do
Makes
have
sense,
one
yeah.
argument against Lex Luthor, which is you have to try really hard to work out a way that he's a foil for Superman, whereas Ocean Master isn't just a mirror opposite, but he can actually fight Aquaman, and it's like a good, it's not, you don't have to do a lot of gymnastics to get around to that fight. All right, next.
Yeah, it's Ocean Master.
Ocean Master as well. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
As someone that has read comics of Lex Luthor and Ocean Master, I'm honestly gonna have to go with Ocean Master because I like the villains that have a justifiable motivation. Like all Ocean Master wants to do is protect his people from what he perceives as a threat from the surface. Or Lex Luthor, his whole motivation is his ego. That's it. So I'm like, I like Ocean Master's motivation a lot more. I mean, Ocean Master, yeah, Ocean Master.
You brought something up to me though, but that's the thing about Lex Luthor that's so interesting. And like when you read comics like Lex, Man of Steel, and you just see how brilliant yet sociopathic he is. It's like it's cool that it's unreasonable. That's what's cool about him in a way.
Well, yeah, but personally, compared to what Ocean Master is motivated by, I just like Ocean Master's motivation a lot more.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if we're in Bizarro world here. I have no idea how Ocean Master has so many points. I've read a shit ton amount of Aquaman comics and a shit ton amount of Superman comics, and Lex Luthor is clearly better. Like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if people are just too bored with Lex Luthor, but he's like one of the ultimate villains ever. Like, I don't know. He has zero power. He's the Batman of villainy. It's like like Batman is so great, then Lex Luthor should be just as equally as good. He's cunning. I don't know.
He's
I love
cunning
Ocean
and
Master.
manipulative and just like that Lex Man of Steel. I don't know if any of you guys have ever read that, but like, man, and it's just how far he'll take it. He'll destroy anything to get his goal, like anything. He's so
Ocean
obsessed.
Master.
Like Ocean Master just cares about the oceans. It's like, okay, well then if he perceives that there's no threats, then he's not a villain anymore, I guess, right? Like it's it's interesting for Aquaman, but it's not interesting for anyone else. Like Ocean Master can't fight any other hero, but Lex Luthor could fight any hero, and it's still cool. If you had Martian Manhunter up against Lex Luthor would find something to challenge Martian Manhunter. Ocean Master versus any other villain but Aquaman would probably just get his ass kicked. I don't know. That's sort of my way of thinking about it. Like Lex Luthor can be a villain against anybody in the DC comics, and it would be an interesting story.
I mean, he's even one up Darkseid at times, doesn't he? I mean,
him and Darkseid. That's that.
Didn't he become Darkseid once?
Yeah. Anyway, let's not keep it going too long. But go on. Next.
Is Film Elise there or just the house?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I mean, can you skip me? I might need to think about this more.
All right, Film Elitist.
I'll make it easy for you, Sean. It's Lex Luthor. J-Man is right. Come on, guys. What the fuck? Lex Luthor is the type of guy that will become president, right? Lex Luthor is the type of guy that will build a suit to find a way to fight Superman. Lex Luthor can use his power, his influence, his money, his cunning to kind of solve any problem. So Lex Luthor is a way more interesting villain to me as well, because like he has the power dynamics where he's obsessed with power and he has this ego and he'll do anything, like Nerdman said, to get his way, and he ends up affecting more people. He's been in more storylines. How is it Ocean Master? Lex Luthor is like one of the premier villains of DC.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, I love Ocean Master and Aquaman and all that stuff. However, Lex Luthor is probably better and like more complex and all that stuff these guys said. So
oh, and also
I have not dived into that stuff yet. So Ocean Master.
Come on, dude. The fact that Lex Luthor is so human and that parallel to Superman being this god, that's also interesting.
Well, why did you count my vote for Lex Luthor?
No, said Ocean Master.
Oh, you said Ocean Master.
Yeah,
you have to say it his way. Ocean
Fucking
Master.
Sean.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't mind. I think.
Is Doctor Doom alive yet? In this,
he's still alive. He's still alive.
Badly.
All right. I don't know if anybody knows this guy.
I don't know.
Hitmonkey is a Deadpool.
I watched it, the cartoon on Prime, I think it is. Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, he's a Deadpool villain versus Winter Soldier. So if anyone knows him,
yeah,
it's
Winter Soldier.
It's Winter Soldier. Okay, cool.
Do you get 2 votes for Hitmonkey or no?
You get 2 votes for Hitmonkey. Have you not read anything or know anything about Hitmonkey, Film Elitist?
Oh, I know a little bit about him, but I just don't think that he's a
Have you read anything or? Oh, you know a little bit about him, so no.
Yeah, I used to read Deadpool comics and stuff like that back in the 90s, but I mean, I know who Hitmonkey is, but he's not of any consequence to me. The Winter Soldier's a better villain.
Okay.
I mean, I really like both. I'll go with Hitmonkey, though.
All right.
I know nothing about Hitmonkey at all. So you can, it's Winter Soldier, but I mean, you can do what you want with my vote then, because I don't know Hitmonkey at all.
So that gives Sean 2 votes. Next.
I'm gonna have to go with the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
I'm not voting for a monkey with guns, okay?
It's kind of cool though. I like him.
It's cool, but compared to the Winter Soldier, who also has a metal arm, that's way cooler.
Sure. I mean, go next.
That's me?
Yeah.
It's Winter Soldier. All day, every day.
Okay. All right. Next.
Winter Soldier.
All right.
Winter Soldier.
And I've actually read the Captain America Winter Soldier comic, and I think it's fucking fantastic.
And the movie.
And the movie's good as well. I think Captain America has some great comics with, for a character who, for some reason, for a long time I wasn't that fond of, but then I just realized every comic I read of his is actually pretty fucking decent. So I'm going Winter Soldier as well. I like the whole Bucky Barnes gets lost and then he comes back as this
And
psycho
becomes
killer.
Captain America.
All right. So Winter Soldier goes through. Winter Soldier versus Ocean Master next. Venom versus Brainiac.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
This tough one.
Brainiac is my favorite Superman villain. He's fucking awesome. I love the way in the cartoons he's always like Superman just beats the shit out of him. He's like lost in three, like his legs are over here, his arm is over there, and everything like that. And he has the temerity to turn around to Superman and just go, "You have only done a minor setback, Superman." He's got like 5 different other plans and shit. He's awesome. He was awesome in Red Sun as well, like the alternate versions of him. The Superman. I think it was the Jeff Johns one where he, and I love the whole gimmick of him putting cities in a bottle and like he just wants to consume all the knowledge in the world. And destroy everything in the universe, like so that only he has the knowledge. It's such a warped way of thinking. Like if knowledge is power, I want all knowledge, and I'm going to destroy everything so it can't have any except for me. I think that's a really weird, and it kind of goes into like the dangers of AI a bit as well. So I think he's interesting and cool. Venom is awesome. I'm not gonna put anything against Venom. It's just I prefer Brainiac. He's just he's a super cool villain, and really the proper opposite to Superman, where he can have a bit of a fight with him as well, as opposed to Lex Luthor. So next,
I like Venom. He's a cool character and everything like that, with the symbiote and the story with Spider-Man and everything like that. I have to go Brainiac. I like the concept of Brainiac, where he digitized cities and worlds to gather knowledge and basically take over the whole universe. It's pretty dope. So I would pick Brainiac.
Next.
Another vote for Brainiac. I don't even view Venom as a villain the last 10 years.
Oh,
is
really?
Null? Yeah, is Null on this list, the symbiote god?
No, I've got Carnage. So
I'm going with Venom.
All right, you can give your
Marvel
reasons, man.
fanboy.
Since this is a big one, so you might as well.
Venom for me, when he first started off in the Secret War comics, I love that comic. It's one of my favorite comic book series. And just to see Peter Parker when he first got it, and how he had to keep it from turning him bad and then going on to Brock, I just thought the whole symbiote story is great. So
Cool. All right. Next.
I'm going with Brainiac. His plans have plans, and he's never. When you destroy the body, he's got 20,000 other bodies, and he digitizes cities. In some continuities, he's been responsible for the destruction of Krypton. Yeah, I'm going with Brainiac.
All right. Next.
It's clearly Brainiac. Venom is too tied to Spider-Man. It's just like, oh, I don't like Spider-Man. It's like, okay, whereas Brainiac is super interesting. He like sort of transcends comics, where he could just be you could use that concept of Brainiac and have that character fight any hero in any genre. Like you could pit him against like Flash Gordon. You could pit him against like any other character in the DC. He could fit in Marvel. It's like he is a universal great villain because the idea is so amazing. It could like Brainiac could just fight anybody. I don't know. It's just so neat. It's just interesting to see what his plans are, and like the bottling of the cities and all that, and the way they visualize that too is cool. Like Venom is a cool character, but it's just like a black suit Spider-Man. I mean, I don't. That's all I see out of that character. And I've read a lot of Venom comics, but Brainiac.
No, there's a bit more to him because they really do a good characterization of Brock as well. So.
Yeah, but not as good as Brainiac.
Okay. I mean, I agree, kind of, but yeah, but I think he's got some pretty dope comics, Venom. Okay. Next.
I would vote for Venom because I have such a bias for like old things Spider-Man. I love it all, but I mean it's Brainiac, so I can't.
Wow. Okay. All right. Film elitist.
Well, I know it's really going to make a difference. Venom. I like
You
Venom
could
more.
say you could have your piece, man.
Yeah, I've always been a big Venom and Carnage fan. I understand that he's more of an anti-hero now with the Agent Venom and stuff, but back when I first was like reading him, Venom was awesome. Eddie Brock was just kind of this brute, this guy that got the symbiote and had this vendetta against Spider-Man, and I thought visually he was appealing. I thought he was different than he was like the first new villain in a long time that was interesting. And Brainiac's really cool, but I just don't care about him as much.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's enough. I'm surprised by that, but yeah. Okay. Venom Brainiac goes through. Cool. Another one I do not know versus I'll let you start with this film elitist. Ulysses Claw from Black Panther versus Nightmare Ghost Rider.
Nightmare like Doctor Strange too?
I think he's Doctor Strange as well, yeah, but he's Ghost Rider.
Okay, yeah, it's Nightmare.
Okay.
I think Ulysses Claw fucking sucks.
What? What? Oh my god.
Can you tell us about Nightmare, just since because I don't know anything about him. Like, what's
Share
his
screen.
motivation? Yeah.
Yeah, Chillmonger's gonna bring up the encyclopedia.
Who's next?
Yeah, you can talk while he's doing it.
Okay, I mean,
No, I'm talking about film elitist.
The only, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, I think he lives in another dimension. He's a demon, basically. He's given Doctor Strange a lot of shit. He's given Ghost Rider some shit. He's fought the Midnight Suns. I don't know his exact power set, but I think he's a pretty cool villain. I know he was supposed to be the villain of Doctor Strange 2 before Scott Derrickson got fired, and I would have liked to seen that. I think he's a pretty nasty guy too, from the stuff that I've read. So I like how brutal and kind of like almost like a horror villain he is. Where Ulysses Claw, I think, is just kind of a one-note pony.
But wait, does he have an actual like motivation or like?
Well,
an
Claw
actual...
is totally different from the comics than he is in the movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I know,
totally
but I don't like Claw. I don't like Claw.
No, I know. No, I'm saying, yeah. I'm just saying that he's totally different.
I don't know if Nightmare has any like interesting human, because he's not really a human character. I don't know that he has a lot of motivation other than he's just evil. Maybe Chillmonger could help me out with that, but
Okay. All right, we'll wait till we get to.
I just think he's a cool villain conceptually. I think his power set's awesome to see, and I think that classic Doctor Strange panels where you see like alternate dimensions and stuff, and it's like a horror movie, and he's taking him inside of like a horror sequence and fucking with his mind and saying like, you're in my world now. That's interesting. I like that stuff.
Okay. Makes sense. All right, next.
Is that me
Sean.
next? Oh, no.
yeah, I mean, I disagree with what Phil Lee said about Claw, but I do agree that he isn't really that great. I mean, honestly, like the film version more, and I like Nightmare more, so I'd say Nightmare.
All right. Next up.
I would say Claw, like comic book version. I really like the idea that he's like, like contained in that suit, and he releases some of the energy, and I think it's a really cool concept. I read the first whole shit ton batch of Doctor Strange comics, and I saw Nightmare's first appearance, and he is cool, but the Doctor Strange comics to me were more about like psychedelic artistry and weird dimensions, rather than creating a character that's like a character. That may have changed. I only read the first batch of Doctor Strange, like Silver Age or whatever. But Claw to me is just like a neat concept. Like Nightmare's just like, okay, he's like a bad guy in a dimension and he can cause nightmares and stuff. But Claw, like the whole idea of like he becomes like sort of like sonic energy, and they have to contain him in this kind of suit, and he can release bits of himself, and if he explodes, it's like he's going to cause all this damage. I just think that's kind of a cooler idea than another bad guy magician with powers in another dimension.
Okay. Good. Well said. Next.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with Claw because I like the idea of he's a guy made out of energy, contain the suit. Plus, going off of the movies, he has his own. He's cool enough to have his own tape. So I'm like, you know what? I'll go with Claw, which they still have to release. That's the next hashtag.
Next. Yeah.
I agree with everything you guys are saying about Claw, but to me, he was more or less like a jester, like a second-hand villain to Lex Luthor sometimes. Not Lex Luthor, I'm sorry. To Doctor Doom sometimes, and I just think that Nightmare is a little bit better, so I'm picking Nightmare.
All right.
I think Claw's very critical to the T'Challa origin. He keeps killing his dad every time they tell the origin. Claw.
Awesome. Okay. Next.
I would say Nightmare. I really like the idea of like an alternate dimension where he creates nightmares. I read some of the comments of like Doctor Strange and stuff like that. I know about Claw. I just feel like Nightmare is far more interesting in my opinion.
All right. Next up. Is it me?
It's you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to give because I'm gonna vote for Ulysses Claw, but it means I have to give an extra vote to Nightmare, simply because I have no idea of anything about him. But Ulysses Claw, to me, I love the whole colonialist aspect of him. That's one thing nobody's been talking about, and I think like from the little I think I watched some motion comics on Black Panther, and I just thought he came out as like a real fucking scumbag, but a really good opposition to Black Panther because it plays into that theme of this kind of techno future African futurism kind of thing. It's supposed to be this story about like this, there's this fictional nation where Black people weren't kind of oppressed and whatever, and Ulysses Claw just can't handle that. I kind of like that aspect of him. Now, I don't know if that's what he is in the comics. Maybe he's a little bit lighter in the comics than what I saw in this motion comic. But I like that. And then I love what Andy Serkis did in Black Panther as well. I wanted him to live longer because he just seemed like he was having the time of his life. So Ulysses Claw, I'm giving one, but I have to give an extra point to Nightmare. So it looks like Nightmare goes through. It's my roles. I don't know if you were there, Film Elitist, when I did this, but I said if you don't know anything about a character, but you want to vote against him, then the other team or the other people get an extra point. So Black Manta versus Alcyon. Nobody knows this character apart from me and John.
Yeah, I wonder who's gonna win, dude.
Look,
this is not gonna end well.
Oh Jesus. I want so badly to vote for Alcyon, but she's in so little of the Wonder Woman comics. They need to bring this character back. She was such a good character with such a good motivation. But in the end of the day, Black Manta is just... I love him as a character. I think he's just one of the greatest supervillains ever for a very strange superhero. Yeah, so I'll give it to... And he's got the longevity as well. So next...
Black Manta. That's obvious.
Yeah.
The Black Manta.
Black Manta.
Black Manta.
Black
Yeah,
Manta.
Okay, I'm gonna flip a coin here.
This way, there, man. As much as I love Alcyon, I mean, compared to Black Manta, really.
Yeah, you
Oh, it's
can't.
Black Manta. Wow, I'm shocked.
You got to flip
She
it on
had a
camera. We need to see
great-
the results.
Flip it on camera.
Yeah.
I'm flipping a beer bottle. That's how I'm doing it.
Rigged.
But yeah, I mean, guys, if you've never read a Wonder Woman comic before, well, the first comic I would say is read Eyes of the Gorgon, but the second one I'd say is read The Circle and God Killer, where Alcyon is the villain. It's fucking exceptional. Have you flipped your coin yet? Who are you choosing? You choosing Black Manta?
No, Alcoin. Yes, of course,
Alcyon.
Black Manta. Fuck.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Next.
Black Manta. Black Manta.
Black Manta. Okay, cool.
Non-version.
Oh, Ozymandias from the Watchmen versus the
Oh,
Red
dude.
King, Planet Hulk.
I know which one
You
I'm
can
picking
start
here.
This is
from the
easy.
bottom.
This is easy. Ozymandias.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my
Any
favorite
reason?
characters. One of my favorite characters all time in comic books. I love everything about the Watchmen. I love his role in it. I love that fucking series. The Red King, Planet Hulk. That's not somebody that recurs that much as far as I know in the comic books.
No,
So I mean, Ozymandias is like basically takes down everything, and the whole dynamic, which I'm sure you're gonna get into more, Nerdman, later on about him, how he contrasts with the Watchmen and stuff. It's awesome, and his whole philosophy and stuff. Yeah, Ozymandias.
Mhm. Next up.
I mean, again, Red King, I do like, but just like Abomination, I think they kind of dropped the ball with him as well. Ozymandias, I like a lot, so I'll go with him.
All right, awesome. Next.
I love Planet Hulk. I bought the hardcover edition of that when they re-released it. It's great, but Ozymandias is one of the best villains created in comic books ever. Watchmen I'm a major fan of Watchmen. I have all the toys, all the original issues, books on it, philosophy on it. I have a shelf of all the stuff. I've got the buttons. I've got an
a lot of
Ozymandias costume. I have his costume from the
You
movie
have
that I
an
bought.
Ozzy, man. You have to come on stream with that, dude.
You know what? I lost so much weight that it doesn't fit me anymore. Because I lost about 100 pounds. So it actually doesn't fit me anymore, which sucks, but I'm not going to gain the weight to wear it. But Ozymandias is a brilliant, like, genius character. It's a bit scary that Alan Moore created this character he's evil, but like yet you think maybe he did the right thing. Like, I don't know. He's very complex. He's the most complex villain I've come across in a long time.
Yeah. All right, next up.
I'm gonna have to go with Ozymandias. Jeez, because that dude's a genius, and he basically manipulated the entire events of arguably one of the greatest comic books of all time. Yeah, it's Ozymandias. No way.
Yeah.
Next up.
Hanzo.
Pass me. I ain't got no vote on this one.
Well,
Oh, really?
Planet Hulk's villain was the Illuminati for sending him there for the bomb for everything.
Yeah,
Not
Ozymandias.
Namor. Namor didn't agree.
because Namor knew it was suicidal. It's like, the heck are you guys talking about?
Ozzy.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Next.
I can't vote on this one. I don't know that much about either of them. Pass.
Okay. So it's me. I want to just touch on the Red King. Like, I actually really like him in Planet Hulk. I do think, I've only read it once, but I've always wanted, like, because Hulk was my favorite superhero growing up. And I always wanted some good villains for Hulk, and he just never seemed to have, like, great villains. It was more him that I enjoyed. And then there was World War Hulk. And I thought whether I should put this character on or not. Do you remember, who's the guy who has schizophrenia, but he's like Superman? who fights the Hulk.
Sentry.
Sentry. But he's not really a supervillain. He's more a superhero, so I couldn't really put him on. But I thought, in some sense, I wish he reoccurred more in the Hulk comics nowadays, because I think he's the yin to Hulk's yang in some ways. That was a really interesting character, and the way they fought each other till they both became their human versions again was awesome. Ozymandias is a fucking, I mean, like, what, like, nothing can stop this guy. and it's all with his intelligence, you know, like, even Dr. Manhattan, you're like, all right, he's fucked now. I remember watching the film hating this guy so much, because that was my first introduction to Ozymandias. I hadn't read the book yet. And I'm like, all right, you've had your fun now, Ozymandias. Dr. Manhattan's here. What are you gonna do now? And I thought he was just gonna annihilate him. And Ozymandias found a way out of that. And then that brilliant speech at the end where he's like telling them their plans, and then they're like, we're gonna stop you. And he goes, what, do you think I'm some comic book villain? I've done it already. It's brilliant. And then I read the Watchmen, fucking awesome. Then I read Before Watchmen. He's fucking cool in that. Then I read Jeff Johns' the Doomsday Clock.
Yep.
Fucking awesome in that.
Yes.
He's just an awesome character when he's like kind of going back and forth with Lex Luthor. That was awesome. I just think he's one of the greatest fictional villains, even from if you're just counting the Watchmen, let alone just comics. So I'm going Ozymandias. He's really, really good. The second best genius villain after Lex Luthor, in my opinion.
Alan Moore's a freaking genius.
Yep.
Having said that, Kingpin versus Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hey, nerd man. I gotta bounce, man. I gotta go do some stuff to get ready for my show.
Peace, dude.
So
Thanks
peace
so
out,
much.
guys. No problem. Peace out.
Peace. All right, yeah.
Later,
So,
Onzo.
who started first last time? Was it you?
It was me.
ended.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna give it to Kingpin. Fuck it. I can't be bothered to talk about this. Next.
Kingpin.
You could go next. Whoever's next, go. 'Cause
Kingpin.
I'm on a different page. Okay. Cool.
Kingpin.
Kingpin. I do like Krang though. But
I do as well. I mean, next. Is that it?
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm just doing something. Okay. Yeah. This is really tough. Kingpin. I don't know why. Just a random guess.
All right.
It's Kingpin all the way. He should be in the final four, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I do like Krang though.
Interesting. All right. Now we have Reverse Flash versus Eric Killmonger. You can start, Film Elitist.
It's Reverse Flash.
Okay, good. We can have a bit of a discussion about this.
I think Killmonger is really good in the Black Panther movie, but I think Reverse Flash has just way more of a catalog of like adaptations and, you know, the comic book appearances and storylines that he's in. He's a better villain overall. Like the bulk of all of the things put together, it's Reverse Flash. Just Killmonger was really good in the movie.
All right. Next.
Flash.
Next.
Reverse Flash. Same reasons. Just the bulk of stuff for Reverse Flash. I don't like Killmonger. I really don't care about him at all until the movie, to be honest. But like Reverse Flash is just awesome all the time. So
Honestly, as much as I like Killmonger in the Black Panther movie, I have to say, because Reverse Flash was responsible for Barry Allen becoming the Flash. So, you know what? I'm going with Reverse Flash on this one.
I'm gonna go give the vote to Reverse Black Panther. You colonizers.
Reverse Black Panther.
What?
That's good. I love that.
you can have your piece, man. You can have your piece.
At least
Maybe
I don't
you
think
might
powers.
convince me.
I don't think it matters, but Killmonger was such a great villain. Actually defeated him. Like, how often does the Black Panther get defeated? And he wins. And he beats him.
Mhm.
He's so like hated, and he's got a pretty good origin also. And I understand everything he does.
And he's got an understandable motivation. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like you can.
But he only really beat him because he took him by surprise. T'Challa,
Oh,
when he
really?
has like proper, yeah, that's kind of what
Nah.
happened.
It was ritual combat. It was not murder. Isn't that what M'Baku said?
Super prepared. It was like they gave him time. He had like the time to prepare for it. And,
He
like,
accepted his challenge too.
accepted the
He
challenge.
accepted his challenge. That was a mistake. But he did
Yeah,
kind of take him by
exactly.
surprise. He entered the country as a trespasser.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that most advanced civilizations do combat to determine their leaders instead of the vote, but anywho.
No, they just allow big corporations. To
Yeah, you're
fund,
supposed to have democracy and lobbyists.
elections. Anyway, next.
Reverse Flash. It's obvious.
Reverse Flash. Or they do reality TV shows and get
find the
popular
president
from
there.
that, and then get their president from that.
That's for the Americans. You guys don't know. Sometimes they're stupid. You got to break things down even further. Yeah.
I like the way the
Um,
Canadians do it.
I mean, I'm not defending it, but still, it's better than.
No, I like it. I like the way the Canadians do it.
Is it me next? Sorry,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's me. Look, I actually really like Killmonger in that film. I think he's the best part of the film. I've never read a Killmonger comic, but like I'm almost not on his side, but I'm just like I wish he'd do things or say things differently and approach things with diplomacy, but be like, yeah, we've got to be hard hitting with this as well. We've got to make a point, but let's be diplomatic as well. So I kind of like Killmonger in that sense of like you have to wrestle with how you feel about him, and I'm sure like as white people might feel differently, to me, like with my experiences as well. So it's like that he's an interesting challenge for the viewer in that sense. But Reverse Flash for me, what I love about this character is he's the biggest troll villain of all time. He's just like a little troll. It's like if Sean had superpowers, he'd be Reverse Flash. He's awesome in that sense. And that for me is just like being a psychopathic douchebag is just like really interesting. And then of course he's just got all the Flash's powers as well. So yeah, and I think to be fair, as much as I love Killmonger in the movie, I think Flashpoint, Reverse Flash is much better a villain in that. So I'm gonna give it to Reverse Flash. I want to give some points to some Marvel villains though, so I'm gonna be a bit more discerning, but maybe not on this one. Film elitist, you can. Oh no, it's me to start. Dr. Octopus versus Joker. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna give it to Joker. I don't mean to do this, like to just give it to DC all the time. I want to give it to some Marvel villains, but like, sorry. Dr. Octopus is awesome, by the way. I fucking love that idea.
Superior Spider-Man.
With the concept with his arms and stuff, like I love that shit. And I like the version as well in this Miles Morales movie. I like how you can do like all these different things with him. Yeah, next.
Joker. Like
Joker, okay.
Joker.
I want Film Elitist to get one Spider-Man for
Joker.
I think
I love Dr. Octopus, man. He's one of my top 5 Spidey villains, but like, I mean, Joker has
There
to.
you go.
It is what it is.
I didn't like this matchup went from the beginning. This is random. So next.
Doc Ock.
Cool. He
Yeah,
deserves it.
you know I love Spider-Man, but it's Joker, bro.
Okay. All right, so even
on.
you are agreeing, yeah. Doc Ock, man.
Wait,
fantastic
I
villain.
actually, you know what? Changed my. Never mind. I was thinking too much. Just Spider-Man 2. I just never mind. Changed my vote in the comics now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Also, Nerman, let us vote on Doctor Doom before Chillmonger leaves.
Okay. I didn't know Killmonger was leaving. Okay, so let's find Doctor Doom. All right, Doctor Doom versus Hela.
Oh, this is easy.
All right.
Yeah.
Who went first? Me last time, right?
Yeah, so it's me, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Doctor Motherfucking Doom all the way. If I have to explain, I will. You just tell me if you want me to, but let's let it go through.
for it.
Doctor Doom is a dark horse for the whole thing, dude. Doctor Doom has stolen the power of the Beyonder. He went to the One Above All, and the One Above All told him, like, the only world where there's peace is where Doom rules all. Like, Doctor Doom is right, even though he's evil. Doctor Doom understands what other people cannot understand. His really only downfall is that he can't accept that he's not as smart as Reed Richards, even though he is, like, second to him. And that ego of, like, wanting to be better than Reed Richards gets him in trouble sometimes. But he's right about his philosophy. The people of Latveria, even though he rules with power, and he has grace, and he says, like, every night before they think they're God, they think me, because they have food in their belly and they have education, and it's actually a paradise compared to a lot of Western countries, even though he rules in a dictator fashion.
But wait a
Dr.
second,
Doom-
why do the Fantastic Four want to fight him in Latveria? Don't they have stuff to do in America, or does he keep coming to America and doing shit, or why? I don't get how they. What's the organic reason that they butt heads?
Well, I know that one of the times they go to Latveria is because of he's, like, trying to manipulate a plan to use Galactus to steal his power. So it's usually stuff like that. Like, they feel like they have to go there. They don't want to go there because if you cross into Latveria into Doom's sovereign borders, he'll destroy you.
So they literally fight him most of the time in Latveria.
No, I wouldn't say most of the time in Latveria. It's most of the time in open world. And the thing is, Doctor Doom goes up against all villains. Like, he's an Avengers level threat. Like, he's not just a Fantastic Four villain. So that's important too.
Because I love Doctor Doom, but I've never read a comic of his. And even
Well,
when
you
people
really
are-
need to get into that because you will be
dude.
drooling, dude.
Yeah,
This is the man that they
I've
based Darth
always
Vader
loved
off
him.
of.
I've watched the cartoons with him. He's always awesome. Always the voice acting is awesome with him. And then even in these stupid Fantastic Four films, I kind of dug him, like, in some weird way.
He was good in those movies.
Yeah,
He is truly one of the greatest.
It's just
He's
his
the greatest
powers
Marvel
was
villain to me.
trash in the movie. I was just like, what's with these powers? But, like, him as a character, I thought
His
he
powers
was
in the comics too, you would like, because he's a sorcerer on the level of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Like, when he starts training, they're like, "Oh wow, how is he doing this?" Because his mother was into magic and stuff. So, like, he's just able to, like, and he's got this whole storyline where he's trying to rescue her from hell, from Mephisto. And he's got a lot of interesting motivations. It's more than just, like, the political stuff and the Fantastic Four stuff.
Send me a couple of comics, best 2 Doctor Doom comics, and I'm gonna read
All right,
them.
I will. Yeah, books
That's
of
two,
books.
that's gonna be hard to do. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah, I'll send you some stuff though.
Top
Yeah,
20.
I'm gonna definitely. That's gonna be my next one. I'm gonna read. All right, next up.
Sorry, Film Elitist. I really love Hela. Sorry.
Really?
Ooh.
Wait,
I'm
what?
I'm done with you.
You're picking Hela over Doctor freaking Doom.
Sorry, I haven't
What?
read enough Doctor Doom.
It's
yet.
okay as
Sorry.
long as everybody else with
He picked
working brain.
Elektra over fucking Superman today as well. But anyway.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I was part of that as well.
Yeah, I know you are, but
Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
My turn. Yeah, Doctor Doom is the best Marvel villain. It's not even a contest, really. It's obvious. Like, they never talk about the magic stuff that he does. Like, I mean, Doctor Doom can fight any character in the Marvel universe, and it'll be an interesting comic to get. I mean, the character on his own could have his own book, and it'd be interesting just him doing stuff.
He has had his own book, right?
He has had his own.
And
comic,
J-Man,
yeah.
if he can't go toe to toe with you, he'll steal someone's power so he can.
Right. I mean,
Hey,
he's,
hey, can I ask one question though? But give me two Doctor Doom. I want one Doctor Doom versus the Fantastic Four, like his best ones versus the Fantastic Four, like two. Not now, later, because Chillmonger has to go.
yeah, no, Doctor Doom is a fantastic villain. The movies did not do him right. They did it. Yeah, he's not. It wasn't the real Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is like way better than what those movies portrayed him as. But anyway, Doctor Doom is like the clear winner, and I love Hela. Thor's awesome. I love all the gods and all that stuff. But like Doctor Doom is a unique creation. It's not a derivative of a mythology or whatever. It's like literally a character that is like defines villainy. But also the stuff with his mom is so interesting. And like from his first appearance in the 60s, it was like, wow, this guy's cool. And like, and he's had so many different levels to his character, like him taking care of the daughter and the son, Franklin, Valeria, and all that. Like, is awesome too. Like he fought the X-Men not too long ago. He had it out with Storm, just like maybe last year. It was awesome. Like I don't know, Doctor Doom is just like one of the best.
He was Iron Man for a while.
He was yes. Oh shit, yeah, that was cool too.
Oh yeah, Superior Iron Man.
And friggin' Doom 2099 or whatever.
Infamous.
That like
Infamous Iron Man.
I mean, dude, yeah, Doom, like Doctor Doom. I mean, he's one of the like. It's gonna be him and Joker in the finals of this, I think. But anyway.
Okay.
It's definitely Doctor Doom. You kidding me? Because speaking of his magic powers, didn't he somehow manipulate Scarlet Witch to initiate House of M? So when you think about it, this dude has manipulated someone that has reality warping powers. Yeah, it's Doctor freaking Doom.
Yeah, Doctor Doom is literally a brat. He's like a narcissistic, just a villain in every respect. As far as leaders of Latveria, I'd put him second behind Riri Williams, the rightful queen, who
oh
never.
Oh my god!
Whoa!
Did you just say that out loud?
You're just mentioning the Iron Man crossover, right? I give it to Doom.
We need a moment of silence for Riri Williams. That was like one of the worst characters ever.
What? Like she's in the past. Like they stopped making comics with her. Like she'll never be in another appearance again.
We can only hope. We can only hope that she'll never.
Yeah, God Emperor Doom, man. Oh fuck.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, Arkham.
Yeah, I'm here. I would say Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom. All right.
Oh, here's another reason to vote for Doctor Doom. He survived more than one movie.
Oh, it's me. I told you I like Doctor Doom. I even like these two old movies with Doctor Doom. They're kind of guilty pleasures of mine that I watch every once in a while. I like the guy, the guy who used to be in Nip Tuck. I always liked him anyway. So I kind of I thought it was kind of if he was in a better movie, he actually probably could have been quite good Doctor Doom. And the cartoons, I always remembered him when I was a kid watching the cartoons, and I was like, that villain's the cool one. Like he's like one of the best villains I've seen in these cartoons. See you, Chillmonger. Thank you so much. You gotta go as well.
Yeah, I gotta go, guys. Thanks so much. It was awesome.
Bye, J-Man.
Take it easy.
All right. Peace, Joe.
What's the last one? What's the next one?
All right. I'll do the next one for you quickly.
I vote for the Marvel one. Whoever's Marvel. It's Mystique versus Red
Mist, aka the motherfucker from Kick-Ass.
No, I still go with Mystique. Mystique was better.
Okay, so you're gonna vote Mystique.
Toodles.
Toodle pip. Okay. I'll start with this. I'm gonna tell you, I think Mystique's pretty overrated. I really hated her in the X-Men movies. In the comic book, I liked how she functioned as Rogue's mother, but that's about it. In the movies, I thought she was one of another bunch of mutants who just had very uninteresting powers in a filmmaking sense, not in I'd love to have her power in real life, but as far as a film goes, it's like one of the least interesting things you can do film-wise as a power. So I didn't really appreciate that. And what was the other thing I was going to say about her? Like, yeah, just in the comics, I'm just like, there's always more interesting villains than her in amongst the X-Men villains. Whereas Red Mist, I fucking love. Like, I remember reading the Kick-Ass comic before the actual film came out, and I just picked it up randomly in my comic book shop, not knowing what. I think I asked the comic guy, like the shop guy, like it was basically Mike. He hated all his customers and stuff, but I asked him what was like anything good like come out that I should read, and he just said, "Yeah, like there's this little Kick-Ass thing, pick it up." And I read it, and he was awesome in the fucking comic Red Mist, but he was even more awesome when he was actually played. When I saw the film and he was fucking played by McLovin, man, that was fucking brilliant casting. What a way to bring this little dweeb to life. So I think if you're talking about like a contrast between hero and villain, he's the perfect foil for Kick-Ass. Now, what they did with him in the second movie is bullshit, but what they did with him in the comics is actually cool. So I'm gonna give it to Red Mist, aka the motherfucker. Next.
I would say Mystique.
Mystique. I think I'm gonna be a lone voice in this one.
Nerdman, you and I are probably going to be the only ones that are going to go for Red Mist because I was thoroughly entertained by the Kick-Ass movie, so I'll go with Red Mist. That was such a great movie.
It's so underrated, man. It's one of the best.
It's so underrated. You kidding me?
It is. It's one of the best comic book movies of all time, in my opinion. But anyway, it's just my humble opinion. But next.
Red Mist. So
really?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely Mystique. She's not just a shapeshifter. She's a master computer hacker, assassin, tactician. She's led the Brotherhood of Mutants. Like, Red Mist is just good in that one Kick-Ass movie. Mystique's been good for 60
he's good in
years.
The comics as well. But she's
not as much to me.
I mean, is she entertaining good though? That's what I mean. Like, she's just she's a good henchman to other villains.
Well, she's not just a henchman though. Like, you're underselling her. Like,
she's a boss, dude.
She leads the
really
Brotherhood of Mutants at times, and she's Magneto's right-hand man. So it's not really a henchman. It's more like second in command, and then at times she's first in command. She assassinates presidents.
She works with Apocalypse mainly in the comics, and she more than Magneto.
She has worked with Apocalypse.
She has worked with Apocalypse, but she
not,
works more with the Brotherhood of
times.
Mutants.
Yeah.
She's mainly
no, you're
with
right.
Magneto
Actually,
the most.
sorry, you're right.
Yeah, and she's killed like presidents and done very significant things that I don't think Red Mist has ever done. He's kind of
but Red Mist isn't supposed to do that. That's not
I get it. I'm not taking anything away from him for what he is. I quite like the Kick-Ass movie. But yeah, it's Mystique. I'm not gonna be silly about it.
No, I'm not being silly. I'm being deadly honest. I
know you are.
I really think he's fucking.
But I think you need to. I think just like with Doctor Doom, you need to, really read some more stuff with Mystique. And she's a great villain.
Loads of X-Men. I've read comics with Mystique in, and the only reason I don't remember her that much is because I don't find her that memorable. Like, of all the X-Men characters, I just don't. She's just like okay to me. And then yes, the films. Maybe it's unfair to judge her on the films.
I mean, you like Black Widow, right? You said you like Black Widow, right?
What do you mean, the film?
Yeah, and the character.
No. And the character, yeah.
You've said that
I like
before,
the film.
Do you find the character of Black Widow interesting?
In the comics, I've never read a comic of hers.
Okay, well, if you did, Mystique is basically shape-shifting evil Black Widow with even more abilities.
Okay.
So I go Mystique.
Okay. Andre?
Mystique for me.
So Mystique goes through. I was getting like a little bit giddy there. I was like, the Red Mist maybe might make it through. Andrea, have you seen obviously Kick-Ass you've seen, right?
I don't know much about. I've only seen like that movie, like the first Kick-Ass once, and I don't remember anything of it.
Okay, so you've seen it.
Yeah.
It. Okay.
And I'm not familiar with Kick-Ass in the comics. I'm more familiar with Mystique a lot more.
It's great. I mean, they did a really good job adapting it, so I don't think you necessarily need to read the comics. But the comics have a. It's a cool vibe, basically. The comics as well. They're both really good. So Red Mist, he was so close. The motherfucker. I thought he was gonna go through. Jason Wynn from Spawn versus Ultron. You could start this off.
Ultron.
Andre.
Ultron.
Why?
Ultron has taken on the Avengers. He's taken on like he's had the Infinity Gauntlet with all the stones. He's to me he's a more complex character than Spawn. He's a better overall villain. He's taken on the X-Men and
Jason Wynn from Spawn. Yeah, Jason Wynn. Do you know who Jason Wynn is?
Me or Andrea?
Andrea.
No, he's talking to me. Jason Wynn, I'm not familiar with that Spawn, that iteration.
Okay. So you've never read anything? Okay.
Not for this iteration of Spawn, no.
Okay. That's fine. But you're giving it to Ultron. Cool.
Yeah. So to me, he's a more complex character to me.
All right. Next.
He's the one that leads like the United States security group or whatever, right? Okay, yeah. No, Ultron all the way. Ultron was butchered in the movies. Ultron is a fucking awesome villain.
Except for What If.
Yeah, What If was better, but yeah, Ultron.
What If Ultron was definitely better. Okay. Next.
Yeah, Ultron.
Definitely Ultron.
Okay. Next. Oh, it's me. Right?
I forgot though. Ultron.
Ultron. Again, I'm going to be the lone voice here. I think Jason, and I'm not doing this because it's Marvel. I genuinely like fucking Jason Wynn. I had to pick a couple of Spawn villains because it was a maximum of 3 villains per hero. Jason Wynn is everything you fucking love, film elitist. I don't understand this. Like, if you're familiar with the character, he is like basically the United States government, like the man behind everything. Like, he's a weapons manufacturer and he's the dude influencing everything. He's got connections to the mob. He's got connections with presidents. He's protecting like fucking politicians whose children are pedophiles and serial killers and shit like that. He does it all.
The character even more.
Yeah, but you're meant to hate him. He's a piece of shit. That's the whole fucking point. And he's got his finger in everything, man. Like, this guy goes all the way back. I'm sure if he was born was old enough when JFK had died, he would have been part of the fucking conspiracy as well. He's a fucking dope character. And Ultron is awesome as well. And he's much better in the comics. I'm aware of this. And I've seen the animated film of the Ultron thing as well. I think it was like Ultron, what was it? Ultron versus the Young Avengers or something like that.
Yeah, it was the Young Avengers. I saw that.
Yeah, that was with the Monster Hulk and that.
Yeah, he's incredible. Like, he's just a fucking beast, like complete beast. I haven't read any comics, but I am aware that he's more like that in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like him in the film. Yeah, no, he's fucking awesome. He's like the Marvel's Brainiac, basically. I get it. He's fucking awesome. But yeah, still, Jason Wynn, just like he's much more of a realistic kind of.
I'll have
threat.
to give a look into that iteration of Spawn with Jason.
Yeah. Well, just watch the animated your cartoon of Spawn and you'll get all of Jason Wynn. He's fantastic in that. I get 2 points for this, obviously, because certain of you had never come across Jason Wynn, but it doesn't matter anyway. But that's the whole point. It's the rule that I've done, like, to make things fair when people haven't heard of a character and they're just voting for a character because their bias is towards the one they know. So submit. Yeah. Ultron goes ahead. Nuada in Hellboy versus Carnage. Again, I do not know Nuada at all, so I'll let you start, Andrea. I have seen him in the film though.
Oh, like from what was he? He was in the first one or no?
He's in
Second
the
one, right?
second one.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to be the person who takes over to show images of characters that people don't know.
Because I only know him from the movie. I'm not familiar with him in the comics or yeah. To me, if you want to start with me, I would go with Carnage. He is Cletus Cassidy as Carnage. Oh, great! Such a good villain, dude. Like,
yeah,
he's taken on Venom. He's taken on Spider-Man. He's taken on he's taken on the Avengers before, if I'm not mistaken, in the comics, if I remember. He's taken on the X-Men too, I think. Yeah, to me, Carnage is a great villain.
Yeah. All right. Next up.
Carnage.
All right. Next.
One of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
Hellboy.
He's one of mine too.
Hellboy, Nuada. Who has not seen or heard of Nuada at all?
Me.
Who are you going to vote for?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm voting for Carnage.
Voting for Carnage. Okay, so that gives Nuada 2 points. Are you not trolling this time, Sean, or you're actually voting for Nuada because
how have I been trolling anytime?
Sean, not trolling people? What are you talking about?
I don't know because the way you say.
You want to flip another coin?
Then I do remember you said you watched Hellboy. I remember us having that discussion. So, yeah. So go on. Why do you like Nuada? Quickly. What's your?
I just like him more than Carnage. That's all. I don't know too much about him, but
okay,
he's cooler. I haven't read much of Carnage either.
Okay. All right. Is it me next? No, it's Jard.
I'm going with Carnage. I believe we did that.
Okay, Arkham.
Definitely Carnage.
Carnage. I fucking love Carnage. I love the whole serial killer vibe of him as well. I think that's awesome. I kind of find him a little bit more interesting than Venom. I wish it was just him versus Spider-Man in some ways. But the only thing I'll say is, like, I don't know why people aren't pissed at the casting of Carnage. From the first image we saw of him with that stupid red wig, what's his name? He's just not good at playing fucking villains. And even when he played a serial killer in that last movie he did, Natural Born Killers, it was just like he was so likable. It was not even... I don't know why anyone thought that guy could do that.
Atrocious casting. Atrocious
just
casting.
Atrocious. Like, you could have got Jesse Plemons or... like.
You know who they should have gotten? Is the guy... You ever see the movie Hell or High Water?
No.
With Chris.
I know of it.
Okay.
I watched the beginning. The beginning, actually.
His brother in that movie, the guy's name is Ben Foster. He played Angel in X-Men: The Last Stand. But he's played so many psychotic roles, and he's got the reddish hair, dude. Like, that's the guy that should have played Carnage, in my opinion.
I think Jesse
such a good
Plemons,
actor.
dude. Jesse Plemons from
I don't know if he could. I don't know if he could pull off the psychotic part of it. He's more of a
kidding me?
stoic.
Did you see him in Breaking Bad?
He's stoic in that, though. He's not an unhinged lunatic. Carnage is like, what color do you bleed?
I see what you mean.
Know?
I see what you mean.
Yeah, he's more stoic, like Psychopath.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Carnage goes through. Rightly so. The Enchantress versus Homelander. I'm gonna start Homelander.
Yeah.
After that whole thing you did the other day about the Enchantress, you're gonna change your energy up now?
No, I don't think she was one of the better characters in the movie.
Okay, well, make sure you talk about how cool she is in Suicide Squad 2016.
I didn't say she was cool. I don't think she's as terrible as people make out. That's all I'm saying. I think it's bullshit with the dancing stuff. I just don't get it. It's like she's an enchantress. Enchantresses dance. Makes sense to me. I don't know. What? She is. She's a fucking enchantress. That's the whole thing. Like that you expect.
That's
her
like
to-
saying Topher Grace Venom. Well, the symbiote's black, so it's no big
Oh,
deal. Like the
geez.
design.
Don't bring up he who must not be named.
It's
Yeah,
about the
he-
execution. It's not that
He
she's
wasn't that bad
dancing.
either. He was
It's
Oh,
not
yes,
that
he was.
It's
Oh,
not
whoa.
that she's dancing. It's she looks like an inflatable floaty toy at a used car lot.
That's funny.
I thought her first.
Eh,
I actually like her first design. I don't like when she becomes the like Empress one, but I like the first design of her as well. And when she does that hand thing, that was cool.
We're just
There
gonna
were
have to
cool
agree to
elements.
disagree on
And
this one.
plus, she played 3 different characters in that movie. I don't think she was that bad. I'm sorry.
She was
I don't-
horrible.
She was not horrible. Carla, I feel sorry for
She
Carla.
was abysmal in Suicide Squad 2016.
I don't feel
Sorry,
sorry. I don't feel sorry for her. She's a very rich supermodel. She's gonna get plenty of more roles.
No,
I don't
she
feel sorry
isn't.
for
She's her career's dead because of you guys.
Nah, come on.
Yeah.
She's not Ray Fisher.
I mean, I like 2016 Suicide Squad over the newest one.
My
Anyways,
problem
but
is
Enchantress was
I
trash.
don't like the look of Enchantress. I don't like the design or anything like that. If you ever play for some reason the design looks better in Injustice for Enchantress.
She does look better.
That design in Injustice for Enchantress looks so much better than the movie.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. You're right about that. Who was next? So, 'cause
Oh,
we've
that
got-
I was next.
Yeah. So
I would say Homelander.
Homelander. Okay. Next.
Absolutely, Homelander. You kidding me? Compared to the Huntress from Suicide Squad 2016.
The Huntress.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Homelander
Huntress
is like
Squad.
Shakespeare compared to that one.
The
You mean
Huntress.
Enchantress?
Yeah, Enchantress.
I
Huntress.
always thought Amanda Waller was the villain of that movie. Anyway, like to me, she was the main.
Could have
She-
fooled me.
She's technically gonna be the villain in DCU.
You mean like how the American government's the villain, not Starro, but everybody bitches about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, I
Starro
don't.
was a piece of crap villain just as much as Enchantress was. They were both trash. Starro in the damn comics is a better villain now from these two fucking Suicide Squad movies. No, they were both trash villains.
Well, at least he's consistent. I like that. That's what I don't understand as well. I'm like, they're not. They're almost the same quality of movie. I mean, I don't really get what's so much.
I
better
really
about this
like
other one.
Starro in the Suicide Squad.
Why? Why? Because of one line that he was.
Because he's at least
I
he's at
was
least a
so
representation.
lonely in the stars.
No, it's not. It's not just that.
I
It's
was
that
happy in the stars.
his entire existence, his entire existential threat is brought on by humanity. The Enchantress is just a fucking historian that opens up a vase.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Starro
she's the
might-
world's worst archaeologist. She
Starro
breaks
might-
the things.
Starro might just be a giant kaiju, and he might be a little underwhelming, but he at least represents the totality of what the movie is representing, which is
I love
the
Yeah.
the way,
experiments and
I
stuff.
love the way you like.
That's yeah.
Do you think she just
Operation
broke the
Starfish.
thing because she wanted to? You don't think that the Enchantress was?
I
beckoning her
understand
to
that, but
break
I'm saying the
No, but
motivations.
certain people think that they watch
The
the
co-
film
Oh,
and they
God.
go, "Oh, she's a stupid fucking archaeologist because she broke the thing." It's like, dude, the fucking
She was
statue
possessed.
was calling her to break it, dude.
Yes. But I think it's more interesting that the giant alien creature that came from space that didn't want to come from space, and they laid the
It's
groundwork for
mildly
all of that. Mildly, it's worlds better. The storytelling from Act 1 to Act 3 is
It's
coherent.
better. That's
Yeah.
that's totally better. But I think the characters are better in the first one. That's all I'm saying.
Oh god.
I'm sorry. I think the characters are better. I think Amanda Waller's better in the first one. I like Will Smith more than this new guy. I like Harley Quinn better in the old movie. I like Captain Boomerang more than the stupid shark or fucking.
And
John
Rick
Cena.
Flag doesn't die in this one.
Oh, King Shark is actually a great fucking character. Don't sleep on him.
And
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I don't see what new characters were brought to the fold that were better than the old ones. I think
I thought Rick
Polka
Flag,
Dot Man was all right. He
He's
was
o-
quite
he's-
good.
he's quite good. And then Ratcatcher, you're just gonna completely ignore her.
I don't think she was that great at all until like the third act. Like,
And you're gonna ignore Bloodsport. Bloodsport was awesome.
And also, they made Rick Flag
Bloodsport
10
was
times
good,
better in that second one.
but Will Smith was better.
Rick Flag is way better in the second movie. And even though I don't
Will
like John
Smith
Cena,
was corny as fuck.
yeah, that's right. And even though I don't like John Cena, the way he played off of Rick Flag and that whole dynamic was fantastic.
And like, I don't have a problem of them killing off. Like, this is my opinion. I don't have a problem with them killing off Rick Flag because what else is stories tell anyway? Like, they killed him off in the comics anyway.
It works in the movie too for like what the feeling that you're supposed to be getting in that moment of like desperation, like we're gonna lose, like the good guys are gonna lose.
Yeah, it's not like
I didn't think much of him in.
It's called the Suicide
Squad. He was better in the second one. He was better in the second one.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't think much of him in either. I liked him more as like the.
Well, the most of the part with Rick
Cyclops.
Flag in the second one had more impact on the second movie than it did in the first.
Yeah.
Like, you cared about Rick Flag more in the second movie than you really did in the first one.
Why has this turned into a Suicide Squad versus the Suicide
have
Squad
no
fucking
idea.
debate? We're all agreeing Homelander's better anyway. Is it like does anyone think Homelander is? Yeah, everyone thinks Homelander's better, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 of us. Yeah.
6.
All right, good. 6. Fucking Homelander. Jesus Christ. Every time in Chartres, you go on like I try and defend her. I'm only defending her against the irrational hate of people. I'm just like, I don't get it. She's
defending this Enchantress.
It's because you wanted Joker to be the villain.
It's a weird hill to die on. It's like me defending Dan DeHaan's Green Goblin in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well, no, because that is literally indefensible, and that isn't Dan DeHaan's fault. That is the fucking design and all of the bullshit with that.
No, why'd you do Mr. Freeze like this?
Omni-Man versus Mr. Freeze.
Why?
Damn.
From the bottom.
This is stone cold wrong on this.
Yeah, this is so wrong. This is wrong.
Omni-Man on this one. As much as I like Mr. Freeze as a villain,
he would demolish Mr. Freeze.
Really? Omni-Man is better. Okay.
I quite liked Omni-Man in the Invincible series, but I don't know as much about him in the comics. I haven't really read the Invincible series, so I'm going to go Mr. Freeze just for the bulk of comics history and film and TV, the animated series. It's Mr. Freeze, dude.
No problem.
Next.
Oh, I can't fucking choose. You know, just because I haven't really read the.
Flip a coin.
As Filmily has said,
like
since I haven't actually read the story. Wait, what? What did you say?
Just let him say what he's saying. I don't want to interrupt anyone, but look, what were you saying, Sean?
Well, no, because I haven't read really the stories and just the show, as Filmily say, I'll go with Mr. Freeze.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Sorry, man, I didn't mean to.
Because of Batman the Animated Series, right, Sean?
Yeah, totally.
Well, on that note, I've got a Heart of Ice, and what that means is that I'm going to vote for Mr. Freeze.
Yep.
It's hard because I saw both. I saw the show, and I also saw Mr. Freeze, so I'll go Mr. Freeze.
Okay,
Wow.
Mr. Freeze. And it's just me, right? I don't even know why this is a contest, to be honest. I do like Omni-Man, but I just think he's another Homelander kind of character. I like his background and everything, the way they kind of riffed off like Superman, but it's another dark Superman. I'm kind of like fed up with it. I remember finishing the show, watching it, and just thinking, yeah, I liked it, but I'm just so fed up of this cynical worldview of Superman as well. So that kind of impacts viewing of it. But he did some fucking dastardly shit. Like he beat the shit out of his son. He damn near killed him. So that is hardcore. But in the end, Mr. Freeze, I'll go for that heartfelt story. Because you just think of Mr. Freeze, and I think, oh, that's just going to be a lame villain. And then you watch his story and why he's doing what he's doing, and you really relate to him somehow. It's kind of like amazing what they did with the concept of quite a, like how many villains are there with like freeze guns or freeze powers or something like that. But they made him really stand out. So I'm going to go Mr. Freeze.
All right.
Okay. Mandarin versus Battle Beast. I'm gonna let Film Elitist go. I just need to go for 1 second. You can talk about this between each other, but I just need to go 1 second. I'll be back.
Sure. I don't know much about Battle Beast, but the Mandarin is a pretty cool villain. Little racist, but we can let that slide. He's got the power of the 10 rings, which are way better in the comic books than they are in that stupid fucking Shang-Chi movie. What an unimaginative way to bring together magic rings in live action. Just have them be like wristbands that shoot wind energy. I thought that was stupid as fuck. The 10 rings are awesome in the comics, and the Mandarin's a great villain. Mandarin.
Battle Beast is the character from Invincible. Is that correct?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just searched it up, and like Invincible came up with Battle Beast. So, like, is that correct?
So, where's it landed so far?
So Andrea left. He said he voted for Mandarin. I voted for Mandarin.
I'll vote for Mandarin.
I'm voting for Mandarin as well.
I'll vote for Mandarin.
And I'm voting for Mandarin, so that's 5.
Well, 6.
Battle Beast was actually I'm voting for Battle Beast. I don't really like Mandarin that much.
Well, it's 5 for Mandarin. Not counting Andreas.
Okay. Because Battle Beast was a badass. He just came in and wrecked shop, man. He was hardcore. In what's it called? Invincible.
Okay, so I was right. It was Invincible. No. Really?
Andrea. Okay. So Maxwell Lord versus Taskmaster.
Oh, that.
I'm gonna go first with this. I don't know that much about Taskmaster, and I think he's but I really like the power set. I actually really like Black Widow, and I liked the first scene that he entered. I know he becomes, or she becomes, less of a villain later on, but
and sucks
and kind of like, yeah, it doesn't suck as a character, but like it doesn't really follow through with the kind of concept of Taskmaster being able to copy all the abilities. So I didn't really like that. But like from what I know of him in the animated and in the game space as well, I think he's a really, really cool character. Maxwell Lord, the best thing that happened with that OMAC storyline was really, really cool with him. And when Wonder Woman snapped his leg was awesome. But that's about it. And I do like him in some other comics, but he's kind of just like a bargain basement Lex Luthor with psychic powers. So I think I'm gonna go with Taskmaster with this, actually. So
anyway, just a reminder, Nerdman, like 3 of us have to go in like 15 minutes, so let's try to.
Well, we'll do a part 2. We'll do a part 2.
I mean, we can get this finished if we just go quickly.
Okay.
Taskmaster.
All right.
Maxwell Lord.
Yeah, Maxwell Lord.
But I want people to have discussions with this, so I can just do a part 2.
I know that's fine. It's just
he dominated the mind of Superman.
Taskmaster.
Yeah, okay. I didn't mean to ruin discussion.
Yeah, no, I get it. We should go
We can do it any way you want to do it, there, man. We can do a part 2.
Yeah, I think we should do because it's not many views. Maybe I haven't done it at the right time, or maybe it's because I'm.
But I don't think other people know you have this channel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the issue.
You should re-upload this, like download the StreamYard recording.
Maybe I can
re-upload
do
this to your
part
channel.
2 on your channel or on.
Okay, like, so what's the issue? So you got a strike, so you can't stream for a bit, or
Yeah,
Okay.
until it's sorted.
I got
So
a
I
strike
can
too, nerd man. Did you go through? Is this your first one?
Yeah, it's my first one, but they won't let me
Right.
stream.
I just don't
Okay.
get why you guys are trying to do stuff like stream UHC on your real channels, risking that shit, just making alt.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. But Nerdman, you should download this recording from StreamYard and put it on your actual channel.
Yes, that's what he should do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I will do. I'm gonna put it on my actual channel, but what I'm saying is, like, maybe we finish this on your channel, and like.
Yeah, we could do part 2 on my channel if you want.
Yeah. Because I actually have to sleep as well too, as I've got like a job thing in the morning. So.
Sure.
All right. So it works out. Amanda Waller versus Jigsaw.
Amanda Waller.
Yeah, Amanda
Alright.
Waller. Did Andrea vote or
Andrea first.
no? He left. I'm wondering if he voted.
No,
No, he didn't. He didn't vote on this
Oh,
one.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I like characters. I like Jigsaw and characters like him, but there's been kind of many like Jigsaw in different comic books, and I thought they didn't do the best job in areas with him out of all those type of characters, so I was a bit disappointed. So yeah, that's why.
Yeah. All right. Is it me? Who's left? Arkham,
Amanda Waller.
Yeah,
and then it's me, right?
and film elitist, I believe.
Film elitist.
I'm gonna go Jigsaw.
I don't know what you're talking about. Amanda Waller, dude. Amanda Waller is one of the most badass fucking characters.
I actually
in
quite
DC.
like the guy that plays Jigsaw, Billy Russo.
He's
in the
good.
Punisher series, and the Punisher's always been one of my favorites. I think Viola Davis is an awesome actress, but I like the Jigsaw
I'm
better.
talking about the comics and cartoons as well.
Well, I don't know
she's
much about
all-
Amanda Waller in the comics, so
Sure, but if you've seen Justice League animated show, I don't know, but like,
yeah,
she was just always like one step ahead of everyone.
I just think she's
the
like
only
a.
person who was one step ahead of her was Lex Luthor, but
I was gonna say I think she's just a derivative of Lex Luthor, and for that reason, I take points away from her.
No, she's not.
No.
She's totally her own thing. I don't think
No.
so at all.
If anything,
I love the fact that she thinks she's doing things to protect America.
Yeah,
She
Lex
actually
Luthor
thinks
thinks
he's doing
too.
the right thing. No,
In
he
a lot
does
of
not.
instances.
He doesn't give a shit about America. He's a complete egotistical fucking, like his obsession is with Superman and the fact that like he thinks he's superior to everyone, and the fact that Superman even exists is an affront to him because Superman's clearly superior to him because of his powers and abilities. But yeah, he thinks that ultimately he deserves those. He's a completely different thing. Whereas Amanda Waller is more about like shadow government. Like, you can do things wrong if it's in the end it's in the best interest of the American, people or protecting America. And I think that's a really interesting type of villain, actually. Hey, kiddos. We've got Amanda Waller versus Jigsaw. Who are you voting for?
Man, Amanda Waller, get Punisher out of here. No villain having a character.
All right, cool.
Can't do stories with him when he kills everything.
Yeah, it's true actually about the Punisher. He kills all his villains, so you can't do shit with him. All right, Dr. Savannah versus Typhoid Mary from Daredevil. Who knows Typhoid Mary from Daredevil?
I do.
I
not
don't.
me.
All right, so who are you voting for Dr. Savannah or Typhoid Mary?
Typhoid Mary.
Okay. Do you want to give some quick reasons why? Because we don't know much about her.
Yeah, so I'm pulling up the Wikipedia just to make sure I have this right. I mean, the basics are that she, and this is also funny because I was thinking of this the other night when you were like, wasn't it you that was arguing with me that dissociative identity, or no, it was Paul. He was like, we've never seen DID done in comics or movies ever before, and I listed like 50 movies. Typhoid Mary has the same disorder that Moon Knight has.
Okay.
Let's see, her powers are highly skilled athlete, trained martial artist, swordsman, peak level agility, pyrokinesis, telekinesis, limited mind control, enhanced strength, and an arsenal of bladed weapons.
And why do you like her more than Dr. Savannah?
Well, I don't know much, so I'm just going default here. I don't know much about Dr. Savannah.
Okay, so you've only watched him in the Shazam movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll give you 2 for that anyway.
Okay.
Because I don't know her, and I'm gonna vote for Dr. Savannah. So, I really like Dr. Savannah from the comics. I've always liked him. He's such a.
And Nerdman, I just want to say I always have a soft spot for mutants. So Typhoid Mary's a mutant. So.
Yeah, he's kind of like a goofy version of Lex Luthor, but it plays completely into, the Shazam kind of character that he'd have a goofier version of Lex Luthor. Plus, Dr. Savannah was actually created before Lex Luthor, so he's not just a copy of him. And yeah, he's just again. I know him from the earlier comics, but like also from New 52. I love how Jeff Johns reinvented him, and that he's kind of like in some ways Mr. Freeze. Like he's doing this because he wants to find, discover magic that can save his wife or his family. I think it's his wife actually. So that's what like leads him down this dark path, and then he becomes enamored by possessed by the evil 7 sins and stuff like that. And then I like him in the movie as well. I think he's a good little villain. He's not like the main dish, but he's a good side villain for the Shazam family. Next. Who's next? Arkham?
Right here. I would say Dr. Savannah.
But you don't know Typhoid Mary, right?
No. Never.
Okay.
Never.
Jared?
I'm going with Dr. Savannah. I have no idea who Typhoid Mary is.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna go with Typhoid Mary. I find her, whoever's really interesting. I like Dr. Savannah, but just slightly more though.
All right.
I mean, if people don't know her, does that mean she gets the tiebreaker, or is that how it works?
Well, they can't go to a tiebreaker at the moment, but yeah. K-Dots.
Oh right, I forgot K-Dots is fucking here, this motherfucker.
I don't know who the fuck Typhoid Mary is, so Dr. Savannah all day.
It's a well-developed character, interesting one. That's who she is, unlike Dr. Savannah.
Man,
what? I'm gonna because
there's A24 movies more developed than freaking Typhoid Mary.
Since we're gonna have a part 2, I'm gonna submit it as a draw, and we'll see where it goes when we do part 2. If we can give it to the audience. All right. Okay, we can't do that one. All right. Dr. Doom versus Hela, we've done.
Just for the record, Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Continue. No, go on.
No, I was just gonna say I only voted for Hela that one time because I knew she wasn't gonna win anyway, and I like her as much in the comics.
I should have wrecked Hela. I fucking hate her. I think she's so overrated. Like from that stupid movie, I think she's so overrated. It's unbelievable.
I find her.
I sent the link to Nerdman, Jade, and a few other people.
Okay, I mean, I
see who shows up.
Okay.
I don't think I can make it.
I don't know what was going on there.
Sorry, I'm hearing like the audio from the other StreamYard I'm in, and I thought you were like talking here, so
No,
because I joined Film Elite's StreamYard and I heard the talk, and I thought somebody was talking in this one, so I was like, and then I just didn't talk because I realized it was in the other.
Okay, no problem. K-Dots, Catwoman versus the comedian.
The comedian's cool, but Catwoman.
Okay.
Catwoman, baby.
This is really hard for me, actually, this one. Sean?
I mean, I like the... the comedian I do like, but out of all the Watchmen people, not one of my top ones, Catwoman. I have like I don't know, there's a lot of things I love about her, and then a lot of things I'm just like, yeah, this is just dumb, overrated character, but between the two, I'll just go with Catwoman.
Interesting. All right.
Does she even count as a villain anymore in the most recent comics?
No.
I wanted to give some female kind of characters as well. So
I'm not saying you can't do it, but I'm just saying, like, because I don't really consider Catwoman like a villain all that much anymore.
Yeah, well, she's just like a...
She's been villain,
yeah,
like a villain.
I would say criminal, not villain.
Sure.
I'm going with Catwoman.
You're going with Catwoman?
Mm-hmm.
Arkham?
Catwoman.
I'm the only one. So I fucking love. I love Catwoman. I love Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman specifically, and I like also Year One Catwoman as well. But the problem is with Catwoman, and why I picked the comedian is I also love the performance. It's one of my favorite performances in a superhero movie ever. Was the guy who played the comedian essentially in that, but also. He's just completely fucking sinister. Like, he's completely sinister in that movie. He's great in the comics as well, almost exactly the same. Before Watchmen, that was a really awesome story. And it's just like he is more of a villain. That's what I like about him in comparison with Catwoman. She's kind of like almost a heroine now, as people say. And the most villainous she got, like in recent memory from what I've read and watched, is actually Catwoman in Batman Returns. Like that was literally when she was actually a villain, and she was awesome. You know, life's a bitch, now so am I. I thought she was fucking cool as shit. I probably like her performance more than the comedian guy, but he's just more evil, and he's deliciously evil. So yeah, I mean,
yeah. Compared to Catwoman, right? Compared to Catwoman at the moment, comedian is like, man, that he's the devil compared to Catwoman.
He's fucking evil as shit, man. The way he's just fucking killing those Vietnamese and shit. He's fucking a racist piece of shit.
Shot his baby mama.
He shot his baby mama. Like, that's fucking cold. That's cold blood. Like, what is it the Joker says in The Dark Knight? Even I think that's cold. Like, I think there's something wrong with that guy. So yeah, it's Catwoman anyway goes through. I'm gonna finish this round hopefully. And then we can...
Nerdman, I gotta go. I'll see you guys in part 2.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do the next 2 then, and then.
Yeah, I mean, I need to go right now, so probably. But I could just stay for like the last 2 if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, let's just do the next 2 and then we'll go. Dr. Psycho versus Apocalypse. Actually, let me do another one.
Do the Deathstroke one.
Deathstroke versus Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deathstroke.
I mean, isn't that one where you might want more people on because it's a big one, or?
That's true, but
I mean,
I want people. What about? All right, I'll do Granny Goodness versus.
I'd say Kane the Conqueror and Violator, and then Granny Goodness. Those 2, I would say maybe.
Where's Kang the
I
Conqueror?
don't know. Like, you can do Green Goblin. That's just my advice because maybe you want more people
All right,
on.
Kang
but-
the Conqueror versus Violator Spawn. Let's just do that as the last one. Okay, so who like start from the bottom. K-Dots.
Violator Spawn. That dude's a freaking menace, bro.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen really majority of stuff with like Spawn beside or liked it much besides the animated series. And so that's why I've like been against Spawn in a lot of votes. Like I just think they really like he's kind of cool, but he's also a mess, and they haven't really got it together. But I like the idea of it. Animated series is all right. The one thing I've always kind of liked though was Violator. I really liked him, so I'm actually gonna go Violator here, even though Kane's all right.
Okay, next.
A Violator.
Yeah, I'm going Violator as well, man. I fucking love that fucking little sleazy little fucking clown, man. He's a freak. He makes the Joker look fucking tame, to be honest. Like, even though I like the Joker more, but because there's a kind of almost because Batman's more PG, he's more mainstream. It's like Violator is what the Joker would be if they just completely, let him go off the rails, and he's fucked up. He really is. So yeah, Violator is an amazing villain. So I'm gonna go Violator as well. And that is all. We will do part 2. And hopefully somebody will actually be watching next time, because this one, the new channel, I was thinking about doing it on K-Dot's channel. I was asking him earlier, like, if he's around. I was gonna say, K-Dot, maybe I could do it on your channel, because but I really thought people would turn up, because I left the link and whatever, but whatever, I don't care. So K-Dots, I'm either gonna do it on the part 2. I don't know. K-Dots, are you there? You there?
You disappeared.
You disappeared. All right, I'm gonna leave it, guys. For anyone watching in future, see you on the flip side. Love you 3000. Peace. I've got 2 or 3